to lend. I need a friendship, I know that's true. Just like the friendship I have with you. Just like the friendship you have with me. Yes, just like the friendship I have with you. Together we can make him be exactly like our fantasy, with bits and parts and faithful hearts, creating Remlazar. What does it take to build a friend? A little bit of trust and advice to lend. I need a friendship, I know that's true. Just like the friendship I have with you. Just like the friendship you have with me. Yes, just like the friendship I have with you. Together we can make him be exactly like our fantasy, with bits and parts and faithful hearts, creating Remlazar.
Let's officially declare this the Remlazar Clubhouse. So declared.
What does it take to build a friend? A little bit of dreams and some glue to mend. I need a friendship, I know that's true.
Just like the friendship I have with you.
Just like the friendship you have with us.
Just like the friendship I have with you.
When I'm dreaming of a dream. Hoping to find what I feel in my mind is a part of me. Ain't it funny how the whole world seems to be? When I'm dreaming of a dream. Taking a trip through this unknown land, hoping to find what I see, trying to understand. Wanting to find what I feel in my mind is a place that I long to be.
Come on and take my hand.
Oh no, yes, now try to understand me before my vision starts slipping away. Oh no, yes, now feelings not forever, and they may never happen again this way. When I'm dreaming of a dream. Hoping to find what I feel in my mind is a part of me. Ain't it funny how the whole world seems to be? When I'm dreaming of a dream.
Answer the call of emotions. Hearing the wish of a child's faith. It's an open book. Part of the joy that I get from this boy is his innocent laugh and his style. Come take another look.
Got it all out of sight. We've got it wrong, I believe this is right. We'll share our dreams and our passions. The sky shining bright, we've got it all.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another Chudwatch. Here I am, I'm in the fucking outfit still. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Fenigami with 100 bits says, "Yay, I'm off work and can catch this live and chill. Sounds good to me." King of the Red World, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Kirthan, thanks for 32 months at tier 3. Jesus. Says, "OMG, there's no way it's been over 2.5 years. I simply refuse to believe it. But happy nonetheless. I know, I can't believe I've even been on Twitch that long. This is ridiculous. If 3 years ago you had told me this is where I'd be, I'd probably be disappointed in myself." So I don't know. Let's just get into it. I have a smattering of things, some stuff from Twitter, some MGTOW people. If you have any chuds you want me to take a look at, feel free to leave them in the chat here, and I'll try and take a look. Can't promise I'll watch the whole thing, but I'll at least look at it. We are on a hype train. Let's pump that hype train for Chudwatch chat. The reason I rarely do Chudwatch is because it's rough on my mental health, but if we can at least pay some bills doing it, then it's worth it. Rachology says, "Hi Hannah, how's the maid outfit smelling?" It's honestly fine. It's fine. I have a fan in here. I'm good. Honestly, I could probably sell this to some weirdo. One of you would probably buy sweaty Hannah maid outfit. Bought it for $30, sell it for 70. Not a video, but there's a link. A breathtaking series of owns. This guy says, "I'm 40 and I don't date girls over 24. Ew. XY Lily, thanks for 13 months. Says 13 months, that's almost a whole year. Bittergrin says, "Just focus on what a bad few weeks Chuds have had." That's true. They have not been having a good time. Kirthan with 1,000 bits says, "Chud, more like cha-ching. Let's get Hannah that money." 83% to level 3. Anyway, back to the thing. "I'm 40 and I don't date girls over 24. My girlfriends are 20, 21, and 24. The 24-year-old I've been with her since 2 years. Good grammar. Too much mileage and baggage when they're older than that. Trust me, I've tested it extensively, so I recommend you do the same, 18 to 24 only." I know everyone knows this, but it bears repeating that the reason guys like this prey on young women is because women who are older have the experience to know that guys like this are dog shit, they're exploitative of women, and generally pretty big pieces of shit. Generally. That's why they can't attract women their own age. So instead, you get it. Altered Undying, what would you like me to wear? Okay, there's a second thing in the tweet, though. Let's take a look at that. I actually did read this before, I remember now. Rachology says, "Something insightful." 85% to level 3. This woman, Ivy, says, "I said this in another comment, but I just want to point out that the guys behind these accounts hire us, sex workers, to hang out with them and take pictures, LMAO. Last summer, I was on a boat with 4 other women, and the guys who booked it took selfies and Snapchats with all of us all day, which ended up on a guy's alpha male account where he was like, 'These women flock to me. Sir, we were there because you paid us to sit in on a rented boat with you.' That guy also went on weird rants about women's age and was like, 'Look at all these 20-year-old girls I hang out with, not like those hags over 25. Reader, half the women on the boat were over 30, and that dung beetle and all of his followers literally could not tell. They have no effing clue. In the strip club, they regularly ask 32-year-old strippers with kids if they're in school because they think they're 21. They cannot tell. It doesn't matter how much they screech that they can.'" Oh my god, the second image is AI generated in this anyway. That's pretty fantastic. That confirms, or at least reinforces my suspicions about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was certainly using the women that he, was exploiting for this sort of purpose, but I think he also probably paid other sex workers to come and do advertisement for him. It's just fucking pathetic. The kind of people who act like they know all about how to, like, oh, get women or whatever, are the people less equipped to actually have women want to be around them of their own free will. Let's see. Rageology with 50 bits says something insightful. I already read that, sorry. Fenekagami with 100 says, but they claim the left are the groomers, and they vote for the party that fights against raising the minimum marriage age. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, PSA, maybe avoid those retractable leashes and watch out for people on the sidewalks using them for their little dogs. Had a dude lose control of his chihuahua with one today, and it nearly ran in front of my car, and it saw something it wanted to murder. We're all fine, but that is scary. I'm glad you're safe. Nemesaur, Colboth, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. You're so like, goddamn, you just show up and every time you're like, 10 tier 1 subs. You fucking rule, Nemesaur. 90% to level 5 on the hype train. Woo! Oh my gosh, I said I was gonna preheat the oven for my wife and I forgot to. I'm such a fool. Sorry! Anyway, let's get into some of the Chud stuff while we're doing the hype train. Oh, we got another thing. Let us see. Lyriel87, thanks for 3 months. My wife. Yeah, she's not the biggest fan if I say my wife. My wife. Alright. The bra's fixed, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. But my wife fixed the bra with super glue. So that's good. Hopefully it'll hold up for the rest of the stream. Okay, anyway, let's get into some of the Chud stuff. 5% to level 6. Remember, every level 10 hype train we get, we add a day to the maid outfit. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, this crazy mask person, this anti-masker, this is kind of conspiracy theory as well, but it's a right-winger, so it counts. This is Ethan Schmidt going up to someone and complaining about a mask and saying that, you know, it's New World Order. Mr. Prime, thanks for 3 months, says, wow, it's been 3 months. I know, right?
New World Order? New World Order, man?
Huh?
New World Order?
It's a very normal thing to just walk up to people in Target and say New World Order repeatedly as if people should understand it. Can't really see. Lean that window closer to the camera. Not on this website. I think that might be a problem for this website. Fenekagami says, oh, Hannah, I literally interacted with a conservative today who got mad when I pointed out that the party from 1984 primarily controlled their people's sex lives, and conservatives never mentioned that for some reason. His response was, conservatives don't care about sex, and never had. I legit laughed out loud when I read the response. He was so mad it was hard to read what he was even writing. Oh, the hat's off. What did you want me to wear for it? Was it of... let me see... flower crown. Okay, will do. Thanks for the reminder. I apologize.
I don't understand.
The New World Order?
I don't understand English.
The mask? New World Order?
The mask?
Yeah, New World Order.
Just keep repeating New World Order.
Medical Sharia?
Huh?
Medical Sharia?
Medical Sharia.
Sorry, but I don't
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
What you mean?
Anti-Maskers Club?
Huh?
Anti-Maskers Club?
What a
New
fucking
World Order?
loser. This is what you do with your time. You go into Target and just make a fool of yourself. I make a fool of myself in my home like a real American.
Okay, listen up.
Oh god, I think this is a transvestigator person.
It's
I swear this isn't supposed to be Tinfoil Tuesday. Mainstream Republican thought is just riddled with conspiracies these days.
2023, and if you can
20% to level 6 on the hype train.
tell the difference in a male and a female, you're a bigot. Please make it make sense. There's a difference in a masculine-looking female and somebody who has male skeletal markers.
Apparently not, because you guys get it wrong all the time. You constantly will tell cis women that they're trans because you think they look too masculine or whatever. It's insanity.
Let me show you what I mean. This is supermodel Naomi Campbell.
I don't even want to watch this. I'm going to try and avoid transphobic stuff today, both for my mental health and the mental health of other trans people and trans allies in the audience. I don't want to deal with it today. I think that's fair. You understand. Minute left on the hype train. Oh, I'm so glad that Santos... Oh, what? The charges were revealed? 7 counts wire fraud, 3 counts money laundering, 1 count theft of public funds, and 2 counts of lying to Congress. Woo! That actually sounds like something might stick. That's good. Speak of the truth, thanks for 26 months. Bumble Homestead says, turf ban. True. Moratorium on turfs. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for gifting a sub. 50% to level 6 with 30 seconds left. There's time to save it.
What was your experience there? And
no missionary.
Oh, this is lovely. You can see how much compassion modern Christianity has for the poor. I want you guys to remember how much Jesus talked about, like, helping the poor and caring about the poor and taking all your possessions and giving them to the poor and saying, like, it's impossible for rich people to get into heaven. Listen to what this guy says.
No bishop, no missionary should ever hesitate or lack the faith to teach the law of tithing to the poor. The sentiment of they can't afford to needs to be replaced with
for the level 5 hype train, everyone.
They can't afford not to. One of the first things a bishop must do to help the needy is ask them to pay their tithing. If a destitute family is faced with the decision of paying their tithing or eating, they should pay their tithing.
That's beautiful. I remember what Jesus said. Fuck the poor. Give me money. Meek says, no transphobia today. Don't you know today's Weeping Wednesday? Your mental health doesn't matter. If we just want to have a stream where we watch stuff that makes me cry, that's fine. I can do that. Oh...
booing a judge in a district.
The clerk up at the...
Oh, this is really stupid. Check this out. They will use any excuse for mass shootings except for guns, gun culture, and, like, lack of reasonable gun restrictions for this kind of shit. Listen.
The clerk up at the counter is bawling her eyes out. Older lady. I walk up and it's just me and her in the gas station. I said, ma'am, is there anything wrong? Is there anything I can do? And she just looks up and she's wiping tears from her eyes and she goes, I have been clerking this counter for 32 years. I have never seen America.
Shit, wait, did something happen with the cat maid outfit thing? Did I not reset that, or did someone do something insane? Hold on. I gotta go back. There's no way. I just didn't reset that, right? Someone didn't gift. Hold on. I'm looking, because I feel like I would have seen if someone gifted $200 in tips. I did reset it. Who did that? I missed it. Hold on, I'm looking in the... Who in the world did that? I'm looking at the thing to see where it was. I apologize. I'm looking. Did it not show up in my feed for some reason? A ghost donation? I'm just trying to make sure it's not like a glitch, because like that would add... Oh my god. Anonymous did indeed tip $180, said only one maid day remaining, not on my watch. Someone gave me almost $200 anonymously. God damn it. The bra works. The bra works. I did give them a free one yesterday because of the level 9. So I guess that adds 2 days. Jesus fucking Christ. I do gotta wash this. Fucking hell. Well, there's that. So that's something.
As angry.
Thank you, anonymous person. I hope you enjoy my boobies.
As they are right now. some guy just yelled at her, cussed her out over God knows what. You want to talk about somebody who's in the trenches, somebody who's on the front lines and really knows where we are with Americans? I've never seen Americans as angry as they are right now. Forget the psychological studies. This is the woman you want to talk to. We're in trouble, y'all. And this video ain't about the mass shooting in Texas on Saturday. No matter what the motives were, whether they were extreme left-wing motives, extreme right-wing motives.
They were not extreme left-wing. He had swastika tattoos, and in his manifesto openly was espousing right-wing extremist rhetoric and openly called out people like, I'm pretty sure, libs of TikTok, and said that they were, like, reasons he did it.
Fact is, this guy and all the other losers before him,
like, genuinely, like, left-wing terrorism doesn't tend to look like that. Like, I'm just saying.
Don't.
Like, when I think, like, left-wing terrorism, I think, like, eco-terrorism of the 70s when, like eco-terrorists were blowing up labs and stuff for using animal testing. Oopsie.
The clerk up at the God knows what. You want to talk about somebody who's in the trenches, somebody who's on the front lines and really knows where we are with Americans? I've never seen Americans as angry as they are right now. Forget the psychological studies. This is the woman you want to talk to. We're in trouble, y'all. And this video ain't about the mass shooting in Texas on Saturday. No matter what the motives were, whether they were extreme left-wing motives, extreme right-wing motives, the fact is this guy and all the other losers before him don't understand how the world works. So just once, I want to hear a United States president or a governor even come on the news after a shooting or a tragedy like this and say what nobody's willing to say. So I'll just say it right here. Our youth today has no clue whatsoever how to handle disappointment. It's easy to...
What? You think that mass shootings happen because young people don't know how to handle disappointment? I can't speak for Gen Z, but I'm a millennial. All we've ever known is disappointment, sir. We're pretty fucking accustomed.
Ask, what the hell is wrong with that kid? But here's the deal. The big factor is mom, dad, teachers, community. We've spent all this time building the kids' self-esteem up to where they could do no wrong. And when
we made kids feel okay with themselves, that must be why there's shootings. That's not how anything works.
Disappointment finally comes because we can only bubble you for so long, they have absolutely no clue how to handle it. And that's where we are. You're supposed to feel disappointment around like a 4 or 5 scale.
Spokane Phoenix says, huge bone to pick. Quit acting like you hate wearing it. We all know you look amazing in it. You love how you look and feel in it. And Baja sends you dirty texts while you effing wear it. Stop lying. You love it. So do we. I can neither confirm nor deny any alleged text messages that may or may not have ever happened.
When something doesn't go your way. But you know, we don't have Andy Griffith anymore to walk us down to the creek in Mayberry with a...
That was a TV show, sir. You're aware that that was a fictional TV show that wasn't reflective of real life?
Cane pole and talk...
Like people who think Leave It to Beaver was real, too. Nutbags.
Talk it over for a little bit. These kids' processors are totally broken. When I was a kid, my friends and I all had a gauge, and we could experience disappointment on like a 1 or a 4, 5, 6, or all the way up to 10. But the kids today go straight from 1 to 1,000. As soon as they don't make the team, it goes from, dang, that sucks, which was 30 years ago, to now, life ain't even worth living anymore. Are you...
Not really, but I would say that youth and basically everyone under like 60 has less to live for now. The future looks pretty dang bleak, and I know I'm a pretty big doomer, but, like, genuinely, what does the future look like for us? Things are just gonna get worse and worse and worse. Governmental institutions are collapsing around us. Trust in institutions is non-existent. The news and other sources of media intentionally lie to us in order to keep the status quo that hurts us and most people in society to the benefit of the very few rich. Like, there's a reason young people are upset about things. But it has nothing to do with the mass shootings. That's general Nazi shit most of the time. Or incel shit.
Are you kidding me? These kids are raised in delusional homes because they've been led to believe that life is easy.
Stone Corbell says, does he think that Andy Griffith's show was 30 years ago? That was 1960, my dude. That's 63 years ago now. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Fennec Agami says, and how rich people's charity is mostly just empty virtue signaling. Yeah. Simzoid with 24 months says, this is relevant. take a look.
Truly I say unto you.
Oh, I've seen this.
Whoever welcomes one of these little ones in my name.
Overthought with 50 bits says, shut down this man's bar or make him have to do anything out of his routine and watch irrational anger and disappointment.
Might be letting in a murderer or a drug. Let's get her to a detention center. You know, so we can figure out what's going on. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. And behold, now I'm all lazy and entitled. You shouldn't have done that. Do unto others as you suspect they might want to do unto you. What is a man profited if he gain the whole world but lose his soul? A lot. He has profited a lot. One soul for the whole world, that is an amazing deal. Why do you look at...
Yeah. It'd be funny if it wasn't so true. Sky Comet says, I live day to day, I have no future, so I survive and try to find what scraps I can. This is what it means to be a millennial or Gen Z, and this asshole will never understand how much his generation and the boomers fucked us over. Lampetia says, young people are so easily upset. My beer has a rainbow and my butter doesn't have a brown girl on it. Oh, am I blocked from this account? Oh no, I blocked Elon Musk, that's why. No, copyrighted music.
I'm gonna read you a little segment out of a book that I wrote, and it's called The Book
I'm surprised she can read.
of Facts Over Feelings.
Oh, it's a tablet that you put a piece of paper on. That's weird, but you put effort into a bit, but like the laziest amount of effort you could have. You didn't even print out a fake cover. You just wrote on a blank piece of paper. Kind of makes me wonder why you even bothered.
There once was a nation, strong and bold, until Joe Biden took office and put the entire country in a chokehold. He jacked up the prices. He ignored...
Did you guys know that Joe Biden is personally responsible for the price of groceries? That's how we work, right? We have a centralized planned economy. That's how it works, right? Goddamn fucking idiots.
The border. Because he only loves ice cream, not Law and Order. How did this happen? He sleeps all day. But don't be fooled. He dreams of inflation and different ways for the Americans to pay. Kamala Harris only cares about school buses, and the batteries they might run on are the only things she discusses. When it comes to tough topics, they dodge the question, giving the runaround with zero progression. Every day they pretend to fix a problem by making Venn diagrams and silly little columns.
This kind of feels like when you ask ChatGPT to write a poem and it's all over the place and slant rhymey. Kind of feels like that. Like it's not quite right. I'm kind of wondering if she wrote this or if she had an AI do it. Fennikagami says, I literally had this generation is so selfish argument with my mom. I help her understand that selfishness is mostly just a cultural inertia and isolation issue. Atheist Brony with 29 months at tier 2 says, under Biden, inflation in the United States is like the 116th highest worldwide. If he's deliberately raising prices, he's doing a terrible job. Fair enough.
The issue at hand will never be fixed because these two clowns only create conflicts. The takeaway here is that we need to make change, drain the swamp, and rearrange.
Didn't you guys try that? That's why you elected Trump. He had 4 years.
Put someone in office who can fix this dump. You may not like it, but my suggestion is Trump.
That's probably a bad idea. We tried that. It went badly. Sky Comet says, wait, Biden planned to fuck everything up? I thought he was a senile old fart. How is he so smart and so dumb at the same time? He must be a supervillain.
Put anyone who is capable of leading the way. Anyone but these goons, or you will continue to pay. The end.
Ooh, she closed that like she was like, I fucking nailed that. That was great.
I'm here, aka the free thinking lesbian, and I am totally blown away that you think that lesbian means a non.
Oh boy. We're not going there, I told you. Moratorium on transphobic, homophobic shit. Not doing it.
In September of 2022. A police report claims that in September of 2022, a homeless man was in front of the school, and a school resource officer was attempting to trespass him. The suspect is stopped by a man in civilian attire. He also happens to be a non-uniformed volunteer SWAT medic for the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office. Doug's son is Nate Cullison. He runs to the scene and kicks the man his father is holding in the back of his head. Nate punches the man 16 times before kicking him a third time. Nate takes a selfie with the man he just beat. A uniformed officer of the Pueblo Police Department arrives on scene. They exchange fist bumps. No charges or even real investigation took place with the department. This type of vigilante justice and the cover-up is even more disgusting.
Like, that's not even vigilante justice. That implies the guy was doing anything wrong. He was just walking down the street. This was a straight up jumping. He got jumped in the street in broad daylight. Like, this is not any kind of justice, even vigilante. It's just a fucking assault and battery.
Disgusting. The man has now hired a lawyer. Possible charges for the father and son are harassment, false imprisonment, and third-degree assault. The man is likely to take Doug's boat, house, and a substantial portion of his retirement income. Let me know what
Fucking hope so. Jesus goddamn Christ. Everything sucks. We watched that.
We will fight for Trump. You don't understand. He fought for us. We will fight for him. You better believe that.
How did he fight for you?
Believe that. Whatever you want, Mr. Trump, we're here for you.
I imagine he probably wants to not be found culpable for sexual assault. But I guess that ship sailed now. I didn't mention that. I'm sure you guys saw. Donald Trump ordered to pay $5 million in that lawsuit. Atheist Brony says, remember that issue of Batman in which he and Robin go around just beating up homeless people? Me either. Vigilante justice my ass. Remember that Batman comic where a guy wore a suit of babies so Batman wouldn't punch him because Batman wouldn't punch babies and he was covered in babies? That was good.
You are the righteous man that stuck up for us all this time. We are here to fight for you, Mr. President. Now is our calling.
Some of you saying what? Hold on. Batman baby armor. No, not a baby in Batman armor. Here it is. This guy covered himself in babies so Batman wouldn't fight him. You can't shoot me, you can't tase me, you can't gas me, you can't even knock me down, not without something very fragile and very precious going squish. Where did he get this many babies?
By God. I've never told anyone my complete prophetic vision that I believe I was given by God.
This is very interesting, because very few people claim to be talked to by God. That's something I don't hear ever on this channel.
Explaining everything that's happening right now and what it means. This complete prophecy comes from dozens of visions I received over the last decade and a half. Firstly, there is a huge difference between...
Cassifel, thanks for 15 months, says 15 months, goddamn. I'm kind of surprised it's only been 15 months. Feels like you've been around longer than that on the channel.
Between the big G creator God, the almighty of the universe, and the little g gods that were directly responsible for our creation. Human beings are the product of higher primates being genetically modified by an advanced alien species.
Oh, we're going there. Okay.
In fact, there were multiple species that were involved in this. We were originally created for labor, because the members of the alien races didn't want anything to do with the labor of mining gold, iridium, etc. You can see the smoking gun of these mining operations.
This is making me think of Battlefield Earth with the aliens making the humans mine gold.
All across the...
Like aliens are still on the gold standard. Before you would even learn to spell your name, I was conquering galaxies.
World. But I highly suggest you check out the southwest of America. You can't...
Okay, that's tinfoil.
Why are we spending taxpayer dollars to prop up the OETA? It makes no sense to me. And then when you further look at the programming, I don't think Oklahomans want to use their tax dollars to indoctrinate kids. And some of the stuff that they're showing, it just overly sexualizes our kids. There's Parents Defend Child Transition on PBS that's being played. There's elevating LGBTQIA2S plus voices.
Hello, robots. Nice shirt, Emily Elizabeth. Nice shirt, Samantha. Won't you please join us?
It would be our pleasure. Ooh, something smells delicious.
That's literally it. Just two moms. Jesus Christ, these people are so fucking fragile. I shouldn't say that. They're not fragile. They're fascists. The two aren't mutually exclusive, but I think you should lead with the more damning thing. They are fascists who happen to be fragile and are very offended by people they don't like existing in public. Or existing at all. That wasn't sexual. What the fuck?
And I will.
Ollie Alexander brags he hasn't lost a single friend in the wake of reports that he has a long history of propositioning underage males, declaring that the last few weeks have been among the best in his life. Nick Fuentes is one of the friends of this guy.
Tell you this. Praise be to God, I haven't lost a single one of my
This is the guy behind the Stop the Steal thing.
friends. I haven't lost a single friend. In all the confusion and the hubbub of yesterday, I got to experience the most beautiful thing ever said to me by Ye yesterday. The most, and it's like, he said a lot of beautiful things. A lot. The most beautiful thing that he's ever said to me was said yesterday. And that's like, again, I'm supposed to sound like, he's supposed to be like, I don't know, depressed in a rehab, about to kill himself or get locked up by, secret space force or something. I don't know what the stories are about me these days. But the fact is that these past 2 to 3 weeks, they haven't been the best weeks of my life, but they've certainly been in the top 10. I'm never going away. I'm never going away. I'm just changing vocations. I'm changing the way I approach it. And, I conquered fame. That was another thing. I didn't even really realize, how famous I was.
God damn, that guy's fucking delusional.
And I will tell you this.
Really an upside down world, and I believe that God alone is the one that's able. And so as we enter that presidential election season, Representative Bentley, my hope is that the people of this nation will re-elect Jesus to be on the throne here again in our country.
He's not on the ballot, but if you're, I was going to say constituents, but he's not a politician. If your viewers would like to waste their vote writing in Jesus, I hope they do.
Because when the country started during the Revolution, one of their phrases is, "There is no king but King Jesus."
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Thoughts? I'd love to hear your righteous wrath for a moment of cleanse. Oh God, what is it? I'm going to say this now. There's a huge difference between Mary Jane being a bad character and being badly written. This isn't about what MJ did. It's about how obvious Marvel is trying to actively make the fans hate Mary Jane when we can clearly see through their BS. Oh God. I haven't read this. Real quick though, Atheist Brony says, if it comes out that you may have been propositioning underage kids and you don't lose a single friend, you may want to re-examine your friend group. True. Let's see, Peter says, I never stopped the second I came back. I never stopped until... I know, Peter. Thank you. We took a walk a month ago. We were going to move in together. You asked me. I said I was a mess, and you said, when are you not a mess? I'm sorry, Peter. I'm not leaving him. Peter says, what I want to say is you're right. It's not enough to say that I love you. You can love more than one person. You can love in more than one way. You can love somebody as a friend. It's not just that I love you, MJ. I need you. You don't need me, Peter. You've got all these powers. You are out there doing all these things. He says, you're wrong. I can do all these things because you believe in me, because you give me the strength and the will to get them done. Everything's easier when you're there and harder when you're not. Without you, nothing works the way it should. But when I know you're there in my life, I feel like I can do anything, MJ. Anything. MJ? She says. When I went away, it was because I was so far outside your life I could never do anything to help. I could never be a part of what you do, and you could do it so well that I didn't think you needed me, Peter. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I needed to hear, that you needed me, Oh, God. I feel like the on-off stuff with Mary Jane, we've been telling the same story for decades. Can we just do it? Can we just have them be together? Have we not ringed every single potential story out of Peter and MJ having issues because Peter's a mess? I get it. That's a big part of the character of Spider-Man. But you can tell new stories with him as a husband and father. God damn. Anyway, Maps and Mimics, thanks for 28 months, says, oh shit, 28 months, damn. Okay.
As the weather warms up, people shed their winter coats and shirts, pants, pretty much everything but their underwear. Known for women, though, as a bikini. But let's be real, most underwear covers more than most bikinis.
Depends on the underwear.
In 1946, designer Louis Rayard introduced a bathing suit so small it could be pulled through a wedding ring. He called it the bikini, named after the Bikini Atoll where nuclear bombs were tested, because he knew his swimsuit would go off like a bomb. It was so skimpy, not even runway models would wear it. So, true story, Rayard hired a stripper to show it off. No pun intended. It should go without saying, bikinis are immodest. Women are told in 1 Timothy 2:9, first, to adorn themselves, but second, in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control. To be modest means to be...
Go fuck yourself. It's socially acceptable. For fuck's sake, there are nude beaches. Who cares? Like, I've never worn a bikini. I have too much body issue. And I'd love to someday. But, like, don't tell people what to do. Don't tell people what to wear. It's fine. It's fine.
Be without vanity, to be decent in character and attire. Self-control is among the fruit of the Spirit. Furthermore...
Well, that fruit's gone rotten. I don't want it. Meek says they should follow the God of War trend and have wised Peter, mentor, and tutor Mayday Parker.
Christian women need to be mindful of their brothers in the Lord and not put a stump...
Like, they have if they want to tell, and I know I'm going back on the Spider-Man tangent, if they want to tell stories about a younger Spider-Man going through more issues, Miles exists now. Miles can be used to tell those kind of stories. I think Peter, as the more seasoned Spider-Man, having a life and kind of balancing it, and I'm not saying he can't have drama, of course you're going to have drama, but I think he should still, at the end of the day, be able to go home to his wife and kid, you know? Whatever.
Stumbling block before their eyes. Now, some will say, hey, that's rape culture. You're saying that if a man has impure thoughts about a woman, that's a woman's fault.
Jesus said, if one eye causes you to wander, you should pluck it out. Herethin says, when my wife wears a bikini, I'm not like, OMG, so immodest. I respect you less now. I'm like, hell yeah, that's my hot wife.
Men are responsible to take every thought captive to obey Christ, 2 Corinthians 10:5. But women need to know that if they, in their immodesty, wound the conscience of their brothers, they too sin against Christ, 1 Corinthians 8:12. Above all, we are to glorify God in all that we do, even in what we wear. As said in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own.
I don't think my body's a temple. It's kind of like a Waffle House at 3 a.m. Dr. Gamble says, foolish Hannah, there's no witness protection program for superheroes.
Number one on heaven is going to be number one on everybody's all-time top 10 list.
Good afternoon. My name is John Kalidas. I pastor Grace Baptist Church in Troy, New York. This July, we're having our 36th year anniversary, and we're celebrating our 36th year anniversary July 2, 3, and 4. Sunday morning, July 2, we're having
Hot Dog Sunday.
Hot Dog Sunday, as we've had for the last 35 years. And we're giving away a free fill-up of propane or heating oil to some homeowner or renter to help defray the cost of inflation and the cost of rising prices for heating oil and propane. And then July 3 and 4, Monday and Tuesday, is our annual loyalty meeting. We set aside a few days every year for a revival meeting, a loyalty meeting. And this year we'll be having Dr. Bob Gray and Brother Tony Hudson preaching Monday and Tuesday at 7 o'clock at Grace Baptist Church, 612 4th Avenue, Troy, New York, 12182. In addition to having Dr. Bob Gray Sr. and Brother Tony Hudson preaching, we're also, as we've done in the past, going to give away not just an AR-15 on each night, Monday night and Tuesday night, but we're also giving the option if somebody wants to have a flamethrower. So you either, the winner, the very fortunate attendee, will either choose to get a AR-15, New York modified AR-15, or a flamethrower. And we'll give those away both Monday night and Tuesday night. And we hope to see you here. If you're within driving distance, you'll...
I'm glad I don't go to church. Kind of seems like the people who go to church are fucking crazy. Anti-Pretzel says, easy story for Peter. His kid turns out to have some spider powers like him, and that could lead to trouble. Trying to find a babysitter that his rogues gallery won't want to F with. The struggle of taking an effing vacation when no one is protecting the city. That's easy. Just get Agatha Harkness to nanny for him. She's done nannying work before, I believe, for Reed Richards. Didn't she watch Franklin for a while? Tea with Goblins says, my body is a temple, but like an ancient decrepit ruin, crumbling, cursed, and filled with at least one cursed, trapped soul. Cat the Satanist, thanks for 17 months. And Who's Your Friend says, my body is a temple, old, crumbling, possibly full of ghosts.
We are interrupting this holy and life-changing program to take a quick second to promote ourselves. Hi, my name is Darren Stott. When I'm not casting demons out of hostile Antifa soldiers or being fried like a grilled cheese sandwich by extreme leftist reporters.
What? Gimpy G says, come meet your Lord and Savior, plus get a free pancake breakfast and hand grenades. I do like pancakes. Not a big fan of explosives, though. I'll risk it. Logarth says, every time I see some religious person with doctor in front of their name, I always think of some snake oil vendor on his little wagon with the ratty top hat and everything, and his name is Dr. Schmeechums, and can never remember what is a doctor of. Lampetia says, my body is a Walmart. Too many sketchy guests to have been in there. Too many sketchy guys have been in there, rather.
I'm using my time to dismantle defeat and depression and catalyze joy in the hearts of believers. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and other socialist media apps at The Darren Stott and get our free...
Good Lord.
There, he said he'd never seen her. But you're standing right there, and he said he'd never seen her. And he said, well, I didn't know her. All I done was rape her.
At least he was honest.
Wow, people in this country, some of them are fucking sick, disgusting monsters.
It's about, have you heard of a series on TikToks? Well, I'm one of the creators who has one, and it's about hearing God's voice. And so you can get my masterclass on translating God, which is about hearing God's voice for yourself and the world around you and seeing great things happen because you do. You can get it right at my homepage under series. I hope you guys are...
Is the book about how to develop schizophrenia? Like, what? Alright, is there anything else on this Twitter before I move on to the other stuff? Probably not. We're good. I'm a big fan of, not a fan of, I guess. I'm interested in propaganda aimed at children, in particular Christian and right-wing propaganda aimed at children. I always find it funny how do I put this? I always find it funny how bad they are at creating art, because their art doesn't exist for art's sake. It exists for them to pound a message into children's heads. You know, the thing they think that other media is doing in regard to LGBT people. No, not true. It just turns out LGBT people exist and it's okay to show them in media. But they actually do try and indoctrinate their kids. It's pretty funny. So let's check out a couple promo videos for an upcoming Christian kids show.
I give you the theme song. I want you to see it and the animation that went with it. All right, go ahead and roll.
Wait, which one of these was first? This was 7 months ago. This was 3 months ago. So this is correct.
Ready? Buckle up for the galactic
Captain Zapdos, who's based on Trump. Oh no!
Of Captain Zepto.
Get ready for some cosmic fun with Captain Zepto. Up on board paradise, one and away we go. When doctors roll across his sidekicks to wreak havoc on Earth. King Alliance and Zepto to defeat him with the word. Get ready for some cosmic fun with Captain Zepto. Cindy Flickin' Orbitron on team.
Yeah, that's bad. I hate the establishing shots of the ship because it definitely looks like they're doing 3D modeling for the shots of the ship, but they're also adding like a cell shaded effect onto it to make it look like it's hand-drawn animation, and it's god awful. Wind Waker had better cell shading. I've never seen Mandy, no. Fenekagami says, counter-suggestion for the Spider Nanny idea. What about Logan? We could have the Pacifier Superhero Edition. That would be kind of funny.
Earth, Captain. Just as I said. It's the intergalactic, fantastic, ultra comic, cyberlastic quest of Captain Zepto. Wait, before we wrap this up.
Oh, God! No! Oh no, he looks so different than the background. Like, you can see the layers. Yeah, there's like an outline around his model. He doesn't look like he's in the same plane of existence as the ship. It looks like he's in front of a green screen. How do you fuck up the lighting and animation like this? Like, it's anime.
How's my hair?
That's
Time
terrible.
it is. But before we receive the offering, how's my hair? Anyway, actually, I got to get ready. I got to do the narration.
He just seems like Zap Brannigan, but unironic. Logarth says, cuts back to Krusty the Clown, jaw agape. What the hell was that?
Voice. So we're getting ready. We're doing all the voices. Honey, I've been preaching so much. It's 2000 and tomorrow.
Oh God, does he do the voice?
Jupiter is still Jupiter, except there's a different spot. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, that's that. But
comedy.
If you'd like to discover more about Captain Zepto, could they put up CaptainZepto.org? You can go to the website CaptainZepto.org. There's also Great Adventures Productions. How many grew up like with Looney Tunes and it was all the different
grew up with Looney Tunes? I think everyone grows up with Looney Tunes. It's been a staple of children's television for almost 100 years.
Cartoons. Well, I've created 3 series.
Tiny Toon Adventures.
And
Space Jam.
The 4th one that I'm working on now called
and Animaniacs. Even though they're not really Looney Tunes, they kind of are, but they're not.
Secret Agent Sue, and this is Captain Zepto. can they go to Great Adventures? And let me show them the series real quick. But you can get the comic books. This is the latest one, Captain Zepto, the Cosmic Inflation. This is Zepto Studios. You can go to that. That has all of that, our creations. You can go down to our creations.
I gotta find, what is this? What is the website? Great Adventures Productions? No, that's not them. There it is, Great Adventures Productions. Download your free May Cosmic Coloring and Activity Book. Welcome to the Great Adventures Productions, standing in the gap to bring wholesome entertainment to families. The Galactic Quests of Captain Zepto, Manosphere and Milo, and P.I. Gus. I want to see, like, do they have any... Our Vision. Let's go to Our Vision. That's it? Producing high-quality, wholesome entertainment that kids love and parents can count on. Define parents can count on, sir. Okay, let's continue with the videos. We'll look at this website when the videos are done.
I don't know if you can scroll down there or not. To our creations. Yeah, can they scroll? Yeah, here you go. So this
Captain Zepto sounds like the world's first energy drink aimed at aging millennials and is also an antacid as well as an energy drink.
This is Galactic Quest of Captain Zepto. You saw him. The next series that I've done, we've got 3 children's books.
It's a good presentation when you literally just pull up your website. That's a good move. Just pull up your desktop website.
Out called The Adventures of Manosphere and Milo. That's for smaller kids. And then this one has just been illustrated now, and it's
these poor
ready
kids.
To go into...
All their friends are watching Bluey, and meanwhile, their parents are making them watch the absolute dregs of human creativity, the worst, most vacuous pap possible.
Production of printing, but it's P.I. Gus, Detective at Large, and it's hilarious. And wait till you see, Norris did a great job on the illustrations. Now, a lot of people think, well, you know, Hank, when you say you have an illustrator, what does that mean? I have somebody, I created the characters. In other words, I'm a cartoonist. So God gave me the ideas, gave me the characters, I drew them, and then I handed them off to the illustrator. And thank God that he can make them.
The animators? You mean the animators? Austy Wasty, thanks for 18 months, says yes. Chudwatch, Hannah, for life, 18 months. That's a sub baby. This sub baby's name is going to be Larry. Larry the talking hairbrush.
I'm better, more animated and such, and I thank God for you, Norris.
Do I think the writers for this are striking too? Oh, no, 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 no. You think these people are going to hire union workers? I don't think you've met many Christian business owners.
And but his illustration is amazing, and it doesn't Norris do a great job. So, but there wouldn't be any P.I. Gus or Captain Zepto or Manosphere and Milo if God wouldn't have given it to the servant to illustrate it in the first place. So that's kind of where that's at. For children. We are taking back a generation for children. Hello, I'm Hank Kuhneman, and I want to tell you about Captain Zepto. God
exciting. Screaming at the radio, thanks for 24 months. 2 years, wow.
Gave me this character several years ago, and I tell you this is out.
Wait, why does he have cake? Holy shit, did you see that?
Zepto. God gave me this character several years ago.
Oh my god, is Captain Zepto on estrogen? How did he get that fucking ass? Jesus Christ. It looks like he's been doing butt injections. Wagrod says, Coach Red Pill was arrested in Ukraine again. He was voluntarily deported and went back. Oh, okay.
And I tell you, this is out of this world. It has identifiable characters, and it has a guy named Captain Zepto. I wonder who he is. Well, this is the hour and the day with things being exploited towards our children. Evil trying to get into the minds and the hearts of children through animation, through books, through characters, come on, through cartoons. We have created something that is absolutely the answer that you've been looking for.
He's wearing his 0 G-string.
For children, for your family.
Even the kid in the B-roll looks like he isn't interested in the comic. It looks like he's like, why did my parents give me this? Can I just read Injustice? Jesus.
And for future generations. And I want to show you, this is Captain Zepto back there. Do you notice the likeness of the one talking? Anyway, this is Captain Zepto. We are now putting Captain Zepto in animation field. You know, I believe that we are in a sight and sound generation. It's not just
a sight and sound generation. You know, television was invented almost 100 years ago, right? And motion pictures before that? The visual medium is not new. Well, I just found about these newfangled talking pictures.
About, you know...
I saw a rat. You won't believe what I saw. I saw a rat piloting a steamboat.
You know, hearing things is about seeing things. And have...
Atheist Brony says, is it just me or does that cartoon have a gratuitously large booty? You are correct. He is smuggling cake.
An animation that is so...
Yeah. And the Z's making me think,
sharp and well done. That
thinly veiled anti-Semitism on the bingo card.
Even the secular audiences and the secular materials that are being out there that are exploiting children will have to look and acknowledge that there is something good, well done, and wholesome that is better than what they're producing.
For those who don't get it, I'm afraid that this is a dog whistle for an anti-Semitic caricature, and I'm afraid that the Z is kind of supposed to be down low for, like, Zionism, which is it's a whole thing I could talk about on Tinfoil Tuesday, but, like, I'm just saying there's a long storied history of characters against Jewish people, and a lot of them look a lot like that. So, that's not good. Lampetia says, we're the ones corrupting the kids, but they slapped the most overstuffed peach they could on Zepto.
And it's taken the earth by storm. That is my vision. That is my passion. I want to rescue families. I want to rescue children. I absolutely want to bring hope and laughter and absolutely bring wholesome characters that children can identify with. And so I put it in animation, and I discovered something about...
I put it in animation.
Animation. Not only is it awesome, but it's expensive. So I'm asking for your help.
I've seen independent YouTube animators put together much more impressive things than what you are showing, and presumably you have some sort of budget, because you're a church. You get money from people. You're a mega church. Maps and Mimic says, oh yeah, sure dude, the teams at Bluey and Nickelodeon are shaking in their boots.
Help. I'm asking for your donation, and the more we do, the more we can keep it moving, the more we can bring great products through animation to children that desperately want it, families that are crying out for, come on, I hear mothers and grandmas and people all the time saying, we want wholesome.
Mothers and grandmothers. Probably not the kids, because the kids aren't indoctrinated already by this bullshit. The Atheist Brony says, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce the beta release of Jack T. Chick.
Entertainment for our children. Well, we are providing that, but it's going to cost a lot to do it, but we are not backing.
Oh, what about Bob gifted $1 with a link? Do you want to repost the link? Because I can't get to it in the feed.
Off. We're not backing up. I'm asking for your donation.
Thank you for the link.
Great ass!
Not sure what that clip is from.
Whether it be large, that would be great, or of any amount. The more we have, the more we can produce, and the quicker we can keep it moving and get it into the hands of children and families. I'm asking you today for your help. I'm asking you
You know what I hate? I really like collecting obscure, terrible media. For instance, I own some copies of Sonichu. You know? I like weird shit. It's the same reason I like those immortality rings I bought, because they're just weird, nonsense ephemera, you know? It's just bullshit. I like collecting bullshit. I think it's fun. I want these comics real bad, chat.
Today to join my passion, and I'm asking you today to make Captain Zepto and these wonderful characters a reality in some child's life that will be passed on to future generations. Thank you. I ask for your help.
Okay, so back to the website. Is this just the trailer again? This is just the video we just watched, right? No, this is actually...
It's 2000 and tomorrow. Somewhere in a galaxy far, far away. Well, not too far away. A planet was...
Star Wars opening crawl joke. That would be creative if Spaceballs hadn't done it decades ago.
About to feel the fury of...
Would I read them on stream? Yeah. Probably. I'm wondering if I can get digital copies. If not, I could always just get them scanned. But Maps of Mimic says, I mean, we all know the inspiration for the character was Trump. Why are we surprised about the dump truck ass? What is this gonna be? This is a photo that I see transvestigators use to try and say Donald Trump is secretly a trans man. That's what I hear stupid, crazy transvestigators say. He's just got the cake.
Me, Dr. Zorb, master of mischief and mayhem, aiming to control the universe by absorbing the minds of the innocent by means of his crooked cane of foggy deception.
Nothing can stop me or my negatoids from infecting the minds of children.
Like, the actual reason they're giving for the Z is so much of a stretch. Zorb, that's not even how you spell absorb with a Z. I 100% think they did this character design with the Z meaning Zionism as an anti-Semitic dog whistle, and then they just came up with some other justification. Like, he thinks he's being sneaky. It's ridiculous.
Children everywhere! Except me, you diabolical doctor of deceit. Captain Zepto!
Space hero and commander of King Elyon's Light Brigade. With a solar-sized ego, he has a big heart to protect the innocent and to serve the king.
And with my Zeptosonic zillion-watt blow dryer, which gives me a stunning look with not one hair out of place, I might add, will stop you in your galactic
hair dryers wouldn't work in space. I know you guys are Christians, so I don't expect you to understand science, but maybe do a Google.
tracks. Not this time.
It's a kid's show. I know I'm being petty.
I'm Captain Zero.
Will evil triumph in the universe?
I hope so.
Will Captain Zepto save the day?
And blast!
From the popular comic by Hank...
The popular comic that I've never heard of before today. I spend time in comic book stores. Just for the record. Don't see this comic there. Atheist Brony says if the Tick and Zap Brannigan fucked.
Kuhneman and Norris Hall comes a wacky and witty new animated series of good versus evil. A series that will have kids laughing while equipping them for their own fight against the powers of darkness.
That evil menace won't budge. I may have to turn up the heat.
Sensor overload. Warning, sensor overload.
Captain, wait! I have the answer!
There's just a character that's like a dog guy? Is that just because it's a kid's show and old people are like, kid's show? You need an anthropomorphic animal, because the last cartoon I saw was Steamboat Willie.
W-O-R-D. The writing of right.
Is it any surprise the main character is blonde-haired and blue-eyed? I don't know. He kind of has red hair. I think it's supposed to be based on Trump.
Doing.
Not now, my planetary poodle. I'm trying to figure out how to stop Zorb and his negatoids before they infect the children of Arf.
That's Earth, Cap.
Just as I said.
What will happen next? Will Dr. Zorb infect the children of Earth with his no-good negatoids? Will Zepto follow the instructions in the writing of right doing? Join Hank and Norris today and help Captain Zepto and his team save the children of Earth. Call now and get your Zeptosonic Zillion-Watt blow dryer available for only $999 small payments of $14.95 on the Outernet everywhere. Available at fine salons, nowhere, not even available at bad salons. Not responsible for intergalactic power outages, noise complaints, or even hair losses. Buy now and we'll include an authentic Zepto styling brush for free, plus shipping and no handling.
Oh, that was an attempt at a bit that went on too long. That's a shame. Okay, can I get the comics anywhere? Because I would love them. Give them to me. Give me your comics. Give them. Where get? Where go? What do? It's literally just one page. It's a one-pager. Okay, we don't get to read the comic today. That's a shame. Comics! There it is. Can we find them? Where's issue number 1? Is this issue number 1? No effing way. No, it's taking me to a shop link. $9? $9.99 for one issue of your dog shit Christian comic book? Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. How many issues are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait, is that the same one? 5. So you want me to spend $50 for 5 comic books? No. I'll see if I can find it at some point. Oh, that anti-vegan woman is back again. So that's good.
Veganism is communism.
I'm sorry, what?
Veganism is communism. We are all participating in a social experiment, a communist cult. We are stuck in a
What do you think communism is?
Mental matrix of mind control, demonic possession, sigil magic, hive mind thinking. Veganism
Word salad
is just another
This does feel like a tinfoil day. You leave Chudwatch for like a couple months and you come back and everyone's a conspiracy theorist.
Form of communism. Communism forces people to be equal. That is
the horror.
Going against free will. That is forcing people to stay at a certain standard so that they cannot grow, they cannot overcome, they cannot endure. It makes it impossible for people to get ahead. It makes it impossible for people to become the best version of themselves when everybody is deemed to be equal, when everybody is considered beautiful, when everybody is considered smart, and those words hold no more meaning to them, when intelligence ceases to
I don't think people are generally saying that everyone is like necessarily physically attractive in the terms of beautiful, or that everyone's smart. I think people in general are saying that, like, hey, you're beautiful regardless, because physical, like, attractiveness, whatever that means, first of all, is subjective, and second of all, isn't the end-all be-all of who someone is. So maybe don't focus on it so much. And in terms of intelligence, I've usually people say things like, people have different kinds of intelligence, which is true, but I don't generally hear people say everyone's equally smart. That's not the point. The point is, regardless of how smart you are, regardless of how dumb you are, you should be able to get medical care and, like, education and things like that. It's basically what's being said. Hydrate.
Exist when children start turning their parents in and your neighbors start reporting each other, and all of a sudden,
if your kids are turning you in, you've done something deserving of that, most likely.
And you're stuck in a 1984 novel.
Like, do you know how hard it is for kids to tell on their parents when their parents do something wrong? Kids trust their parents kind of inherently, even though sometimes they shouldn't, unfortunately.
but not for the reasons that you think. The matrix we are stuck in is a communist matrix. It's a nihilist, communist, Illuminati, sigil magic, MK Ultra, mind-controlled matrix.
Oh my god, if this was Tinfoil Tuesday, she'd fill up a whole card.
People be talking like we're in a simulation in a computer. No, we are in a simulation and we are in a matrix, but it is a thought experiment. It's a social experiment. Everything is real. It is
just a prank, bro. Wagroad says she read that one chick tract.
All real. It is not some science fiction form of mind control or parasite demonic possession. It's all real and it's all of the mind. The mind is extremely powerful. The mind is capable of making you believe reality or not. The mind is capable of altering your reality.
It's capable of shaping your perceptions of reality. Who's your friend says, what about teachers turning in trans students? Where does that fall? She's fine with that.
The mind is capable of opening up different dimensions, different
brain and brain. What is brain?
Portals, different realms of.
It's a quote from the season 3 episode Spock's Brain, one of the greatest pieces of science fiction in history.
Thought that
is a joke.
That you never would.
It's bad.
Would have explored before. It's all because of the propaganda that we have been programmed with, that we have been force-fed our entire lives to believe, even if we think we're watching something that's a comedy, even if we think it's just a science fiction movie, fiction, fake, make-believe movie, even if you think lyrics to a song are not real, that they hold no...
He's worse than dead, Jim. His brain is gone.
Truth and reality. It's the infection of the mind, the infection of language. How language is what makes us human, but it is also a virus, and it is what keeps...
Language is a virus. Hot take. No, it's not. Atheist Brony says, I can debunk this hands down. If the mind could open portals to other realms, I would have been in Equestria or Boiling Isles for years at this point.
People enslaved is language. Instead of listening to the wisdom of our elders, instead of listening to your
old people are never wrong.
Own body, your own experience, instead of paying attention to absolute truth in life, like what is and what isn't real, the things that you can prove, the things that you know to be true because of your own experience in life. That is what makes you human. And we don't need words.
What makes me human is that I'm a homo sapien. I'm literally a person. What do you mean that's what makes you human?
Don't need language to come in.
There are people who can't speak or communicate. They're still human beings.
And redefine different words and make things mean what they don't mean in order to be human. In order to be human, we can describe things, we can explain things with our words.
I'm not a cat. Cats can't be maids. Overthought says, you know she has a kid named Jackson or Bole.
Language, but we have to be sane and logical. You have to follow the pattern of universal truth. And so
what the fuck does universal truth mean? That's a completely vacuous and subjective term. What are you talking about? If we knew what universal truths were, we would just all believe them, because they'd be universal, wouldn't they?
We're told over and over and over again in movies how to break free from the matrix. We're told that your mind is powerful enough to break free from mind control, to break free from trauma, that your mind, it fragments and it splits itself into multiple personalities to protect you from the horrors that you have experienced and traumas that you have experienced. Though it is true,
if you have DID,
true that we need our mind,
but that's pretty rare,
in order to break free from these mind controls and this severe programming, we need to make a choice, and we have free will, and it is within the mind to make your choice. But they don't give you the password in these movies. They don't give you your redemption. They don't give you the tools that we are endowed upon to protect ourselves from evil, to protect ourselves from mental rape. And that is your spirituality. That is to become reconciled with God again. That is to have a connection and a relationship with God again. To ask God to get you out of this mess. To ask God to give you the strength of whatever it may be in order for you to do whatever it takes for you to get better, for you to get out of this hole, this metaphorical hole. And they never tell you in these movies to call upon Jesus Christ. If they use Jesus Christ's name, they use
I feel like she's wildly misinterpreted every movie she's ever seen.
It in vain. If they talk about Jesus Christ, most of the time, they act as if it is a failure, that calling on to God isn't enough, that you can't, basically, that you can't heal with your mind. That is the
correct. Generally, you can't.
Ultimate truth that they give you, because they don't even give you the passwords. They don't even give you
the passwords
keys to unlock this dimensional evil portal that has been forced open by Hollywood and media magic and your experience and your trauma in life. And also, I do believe that we have generational curses. That's what generational mental illness is.
No, it's not
the same exact thing. And you can hear testimony after testimony of people who find Jesus Christ and who find God, and they are better. They become...
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that one.
Sane. They become healthier. Something happens. They are healed by the Holy Spirit or by the touch of Jesus Christ. And it is true that you need your mind to help get you out of these horrible, horrible situations, this horrible matrix that we're in, this mental mind control that we have been subjected to. We have to be strong in the mind, and you have to have a strong sense of self. But what happens when your mind is completely beaten? And what happens when your sense of self is completely deflated and you feel that there's no way out? All of a sudden, if you are looking for a way out, God will present himself to you. Jesus Christ will start talking to you through his teachings or through words.
This is the wild thing to me, because let me tell you, I used to be Christian. When I was younger, I was raised in it. My parents were Christian, my grandparents, my family was, Christian. People who say this, not true. Survivorship bias. I'll tell you, when I was struggling with, losing my faith, and when I was, coming to understand that I didn't really believe anymore, I didn't think there was evidence, I knew there were tons of other world religions, so it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I tried. I really did. I read the Bible, which turned into TBR. I tried to talk to God, all the stuff they tell you to do. Nothing happens. Nothing happens because it's not real. Sorry. Lampita says, this is the Cirque du Soleil of mental gymnastics. I could barely remember it was about veganism. I know, right?
That people say, you will hear your angels, your guardian angels telling you things that you need to hear, even if you don't agree with it. That's what...
do these people just think the thoughts in their heads that they have about themselves are angels communicating with them? They have a thought that they don't associate with or that they don't identify with, and they assume, oh, that must be another entity. It's not. It's just your brain. Your brain thinks things. You don't always have to identify or agree with all your thoughts.
What's really important...
people have intrusive thoughts.
that we disagree with each other. It's so sad to see a lot of these transgender kids end up transgender just because their parents agree with them and placate them and enable them instead of just
Hey, having supportive parents of trans kids is based, actually.
telling them no. Where no is one of the most loving things that you can say to a person.
Not in that case.
So, yes, we can break free from this mind control, this sigil magic. It is through God. It is through Jesus Christ. And you must pray to him. And you must, if you want to be saved in this life, if you want to save your soul in this life, if you're tired of the turmoil and the depression, and if you don't feel like you can do it alone, that is what Jesus Christ came here for and lived and died and rose from the dead for, so that you can be saved, so that you can find peace and have redemption and have a sense of me.
It's all just appeals to emotion, and it sickens me. This guy started messaging me a while back on Twitter. He was a Christian who was trying to convert me, and I find those conversations interesting, so I decided to have a chat with him. And we talked on and off for days and days, like a week or two, I don't even know. And you know when he gave up? When I expressed to him that I already knew all the Christian stuff, that I used to be Christian as a kid, I'm familiar with it, I just don't think it's true. He only gave up when he stopped being able to try and emotionally manipulate me. When I made it clear that emotional manipulation was not a valid way to argue with me, he said, all right, maybe I'll talk to you another time. And I haven't heard from him since. Just interesting to say. He had no interest in having a conversation about the truth of what he was saying. It was all emotional manipulation, but I'm glad I wasted a little bit of his time. Hopefully he didn't bother someone else. Oh. Remember Undead Chronic, the absolutely awful red pill MGTOW guy? He has opinions on Steven Crowder getting divorced. So this is going to be interesting. He doesn't like Steven Crowder, and I'm pretty sure he's going to call him, like, a bitch or something. So let's watch a couple losers, MGTOW, Manosphere types, try and talk about Steven Crowder, who's also a shitbag. You can hate everyone in this video, that's fine. Gitara says that guy tried to convert the High Priestess of Paul. How bold.
All right, Steven Crowder is getting divorced. My initial response... What was your initial response?
Sorry, that was loud.
Look, this ain't going to be popular with people. I'm always sad to see one of these come to an end, you know, but I'm always surprised that people are still doing this. They're still doing this. You're
still doing what? Getting married?
Absolutely not protected at all. There's nothing you can do to protect yourself from some...
You could not be an abusive asshole. Like, Steven Crowder's getting a divorce because he's an uninvolved abusive husband. Like, that's why. It's not random. This isn't like a lottery ticket got scratched and his number came up. He's a fucking abusive dick. Like, he deserves it. Consequences for my actions. I can't believe it.
Somebody saying, I don't want this life anymore.
It's like ancient warband kingdom, but sorcerer chronic. Don't you want to outlaw the dark magic of divorce spells? Yes. Then why are you having the entire kingdom watch it being done on a prisoner? To show them how brutal it is. To get support. That's rude. That's why I like it.
You would like to ban divorce. That's a very normal thing and not at all a red flag for abusers.
I don't think
anyone who wants you to not be able to leave a marriage of your own free will is setting you up to be abused. They want to abuse you and they want no consequences. There's no other reason for it, period.
Happen, but I want men to see how much it even... I mean... Zoomers. Millennials.
Zoomers. I'm sure a lot of Zoomers watch your channel. Jesus Christ.
Gen X.
This channel has to be like 95% burnt out, like misanthropic dude bros in their 40s and up, right?
have all known multiple people in their family or their close circle that got divorced and got to watch how it destroyed them. But now they get to see their false idols be burnt on the sacrificial pyre, and they're just like, but marriage is good. Every time they say marriage is good, a wooden plank gets thrown onto their funeral pyre, but they're still alive. So this is good for the message. Let's see what he has to say.
I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now. Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear,
horrendous. You know what's happening?
Yeah, she's taking his money.
She's trying to take all of it.
Yes, she's.
What are you talking about? He said nothing about money. She's leaving him because he's an abusive asshole. We saw the video. We saw how he acts, and we see how he acts in his show. We know how Steven Crowder is.
He's trying to get the BBD. It's the bigger, better deal. And
maybe she doesn't want to be with an abusive fucking asshole. Have you considered?
That's what she's going after. So she's trying to come out on top. She doesn't want 60-40. She wants 70-30 in her favor because he's working and he can still make it. And I'm just a little nobody, hopeless, defenseless woman.
I got twins I need to take care of. Pay
That's
up,
right.
Steven.
Yeah, that's how that works. I'm sure he's going to have to pay child support, and I hope he has to pay alimony.
That's funny, she's been...
Because fuck Steven Crowder. Not to mention, alimony exists for a reason, and Steven Crowder is the reason. Steven Crowder didn't allow his wife to go and have a job or develop anything, like, in terms of a career. So she's fucked. She's fucked. Now it's his job to continue to support her because that was the arrangement they made, was you're a trad wife, you stay at home, I make the money. You've now put her in a situation where she has no prospects, at least not immediately. Because of that situation, she doesn't have money saved. So now, your money's gonna get taken. And that's good. Fuck you, Steven Crowder.
And trying to come out on top this entire divorce, I guarantee you she was never on top of him during their sex life.
That's too bad because that's actually kind of fun.
I'm sorry. Make sure you don't mess around and get a penile fracture.
You know what? I didn't know a guy personally, but I knew of a guy that had a rupture like that. He said that was some of the suckiest fucking shit that he ever went through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because she backed up too fucking hard, and she bent his dick and exploded that wall. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Now, you see, I don't have to worry about that because
you're not ever getting laid.
I am quadruple. I am quadruple boosted, but I had the COVID vax get put into my urethra, and it formed super clots on the inside of my urethra. So it will not break. It will not break. It will tear her perineum.
Yep. Do tell.
Let's continue.
These people are so fucking gross.
There is no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side.
Physical abuse.
So
interesting choice of words.
What are you getting divorced?
Tea with Goblin says, Hillary Crowder has, to my knowledge, been very quiet about the divorce. She started dating him before he was wealthy. Heaven forbid that Crowder have to pay to support his own kids. But these two are so happy to make a straw man about her to support their sad misogyny. Oh, it's messed up. What do you join in on? Couple MGTOW assholes talking about the Steven Crowder situation. Steven Crowder's an asshole and deserves this, but these people are also wrong. I'm the correct one in this situation. You can tell because I'm in the box at the bottom part of the screen. And that tells you that I'm the person who's correct.
Divorced over. So then it's not him. It's not him. It's her.
I'm not happy.
Right. I'm not happy.
I'm
not happy.
Yeah, that's a valid reason.
I
and that's outside of the abuse. So.
Did this long enough, Steven. I want to get out there and sow my wild oats.
No. That's not what happened. She literally just wanted him to be a father and not be a controlling psycho.
I've heard about the BBC, and I want some.
It's not you.
She's Steven Crowder's wife. She's probably racist.
It's me.
Arabian Nights.
What else? What else do they say? Let me go through the list. I'm not happy. It's not you. It's me. I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
In love with you, yeah.
I think we should go our separate ways.
Right on.
We don't have good communication.
Need a break. I need a break.
Need a break. Yeah. Yep. That's what they say. It doesn't mean anything.
Old boy in the chat here says, I need to find myself.
Yep.
No, you need to employ somebody to find parts of yourself, biatch.
Yeah, like, I don't...
Kind of telling on yourself through this. Like, first of all, it's interesting, and I think it's projecting a little that he thinks that the entire reason a woman might leave a marriage is for some sort of sexual promiscuity reason or for sexual exploration. But even if that was the case, doesn't that kind of imply that you're terrible at sex? Just saying. Atheist Brony says, we all know Hannah is right because her floral wreath grants a +5 to perception checks. It's actually in addition to my charisma. So it makes you think I'm more correct. Stone Corbell says, again, this is an instance of MGTOW I-word types getting all their knowledge of women and relationships from sitcoms, rom-coms, and stand-up comedy. Chitara says, wow, these MGTOW types really do talk about getting cucked by black men a lot. It's almost like they have a fetish or something. It's bizarre. It's genuinely so telling and bizarre that they constantly bring stuff like this up. It's weird. I think there are probably people with, like, some sort of racially based cuckold fantasies that probably talk about this less than these people. It's nuts. Xandris with 32 months says, nothing like Chuds versus Chuds. You can hate everyone involved and never feel bad about it. True. We can feel bad for the world, though, that we all have to witness.
Women will say these things, and it's like they're trying to give you an answer. But
No,
what does TFM say? TFM says words are magic spells to women.
They're throwing these ridiculous platitudes that they believe everyone is brainwashed by. And
what are you talking about?
Nobody buys it, but nobody calls them on their bullshit.
Most of the times, they're not actually having a conversation, not telling, because if they had to tell the exact reason why, you'd be disgusted. I want to take your money and bang other guys. They're not gonna.
That's not the reason. Why do you think that's the reason? And frankly, even if it was, who cares? People should be allowed to get divorced for any reason they want. Or none.
What it is. That's exactly what it is. She wants half of his fortune, and she wants to go out and with no impunity, with no accountability, fuck until she can't stand.
It's not even. It's like the same thing you hear when you ask a girl what kind of guy she's into. What she really wants to say is, I want to be tall, I want to be rich, and I just want him to be whatever else I need him to be to make my other female friends jealous. But
this is the problem with people who get all their information from internet forums where they isolate themselves from other groups and only end up in echo chambers. So these people presumably are on, like, forums that are full of I-words and other Manosphere types. So their entire perception of women is based on a misogynistic straw man constructed by losers on the internet over the last 30 years, and it's pathetic. Have they ever talked to a woman? The women I know and have known in my life, believe it or not, are individual human beings, and each one has different types of people that they're into, different body types, personality types, whatever. And people aren't getting into relationships generally in order to impress their, like, friends or whatever. People get into relationships because they want to spend more time with someone, because they care about them and want to commit to them in some way if it's a monogamous relationship. Like, what are they talking about? Meek says, are they not going to bring up the abuse video? I don't know.
What they tell you is, I want a nice guy that will get me flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say...
And it's not true. You know that's not true.
What they say and what they actually want, completely two different things. Same thing with divorce.
When you meet the ex, what does he look like? The ex always looks like somebody that just came off the back of a Harley on a 3,000-mile fucking road trip.
How many exes do you have? And how many of their exes have you met? Genuinely. It just feels like you're constructing a situation in your mind to be mad at. Why would you do that to yourself?
That fucks buffaloes for a living.
Yep.
That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. And he leaves a kid in every state.
Yep.
And that's what she wants.
was on the beach and one of my exes walked up with a new boy toy.
Nice.
And she was like I was like listening to some music, just drinking, like trying to tan. She like stood in front of the sun. She's like, there he is. I look up. I was like, I think this is like when Pluto was in the news. It was like, is it a planet? And I'm like, I knew Pluto wasn't a planet, but I didn't know it got inside some fat bitch's ass.
I said the same.
Her boyfriend, what's up?
No, go ahead.
Oh, her boyfriend was just like, what's up? You want to throw? Like, you would, simp
Really?
shit, right?
Really?
And I'm like laying down there just chilling. And I'm a big guy. My little brother is extremely large. He played lineman for an SEC football team. And he was just coming back with 2 ice cream cones. The funny, he has these little sunglasses. He's holding 2 ice cream cones. He just did an arm workout. He's looking massive. He like walked up. He's just like, he said, do you mind if we eat our ice cream before I beat your ass?
Okay, I'm done with the misogynistic losers. That's all I can take of that. Jesus Christ. Oh God, everyone else is a misogynistic loser too. Fuck, okay, Elliot Hulse.
Yo, Elliot. I have some indecision that is driving me nuts in regard to...
He's made his Catholic nationalist background even creepier. I see he added to the collection. What the fuck?
Meeting a wife-worthy...
I shouldn't say Catholic. I don't know if he's Catholic. It looks Catholic to me, but it's probably just general Christian shit.
...woman and starting a family. I'm 28 years old in an electrician's apprenticeship, building skills for my career as a tradesman, but very busy with study and working extra to get my basic bills paid. My question is, should I make efforts towards being fruitful and multiplying now, finding a woman who is willing to have little for some time?
Clava Faustna with 22 months says, Beat Boot Prime, thanks for your heavenly voice. Oh. Tea with Goblin says, that's funny, all my exes look like weird D&D nerds or Eldritch Forest creatures. Hashtag bisexual.
And build together for the future. Or finish the apprenticeship, get my finances more stable, and then focus on bringing a woman into my life. I appreciate your insights. So one of the things that I've experienced and noticed in my life is that when I have a desire for something, it's not that the desire needs to be reached for or ignored. Because that which you push away. There was a really good video I saw on Instagram. I'm going to demonstrate. I saw this. He must have been like a Buddhist monk or something like that, but he had a lot of wisdom. He talked about how if there's something that you desire, there's something that you want, or there's something that you don't want. If you try to pull it towards you, say you want this wife, right? You want a wife. You try to pull it towards you, it moves away, right? If I pull this towards me, it moves away.
Okay, reasoning by metaphor doesn't really work when you're just like, I don't know, what's an object around me? Like, it feels like you came up with what you wanted to say first and then made up the most obscure metaphor possible? Did he just pull a rosary out of his ass? I mean, they don't look like anal beans for no reason. Dr. Gamble says, can we make it mandatory for all men to go to regular therapy? I think everyone should get therapy. Everyone! Everyone needs therapy. Let's do it. Group therapy, everyone.
Also, if I say, oh, but I'm going to ignore this, I'm going to push this down, or I'm going to reject this in my life for a time or whatever, if you push something away, it returns back to you. If you push it away, it comes. So that's
a terrible metaphor that doesn't really reflect how reality works. So no.
Place to be is in equanimity, is not to push or not.
This isn't group therapy. If this is therapy, then I'm a therapist and you all owe me like $50 an hour. So probably get on.
To pull, but to be open. And so
I also don't think this would be an appropriate outfit for a therapist. Probably.
I don't want to say have no intention, but what I've experienced in my life is that if I notice an intention and I allow it and be grateful for it, then in its own time, in its own way, God delivers it into my life. Mainly because, as I know about myself, I wasn't ready for it when I wanted it. So for example, I'm living on this ranch, lots of acres here and my family is set away and we're homeschooling. I wanted this a long time ago. I was 24 and I remember wanting this. Before it was even like a cool thing. I met the Amish and I was like, I want to live like I'm Amish. And I sat with that. There was a desire. I could have reached for it, or I could have said no, that could never happen.
I need to see my license first. The shark is my license? Did I pass the speech check?
And I'm going to reject it because I can't have it, sour grapes. But in a way, I just allowed it. And when I was in my most allowing state, God literally delivered it into my life with ease. With ease. This is new age stuff, and I mingle new age with Catholicism because they're
Oh, he was gay. Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
There are truths.
I thought I remembered the Catholic thing.
Jesus even says, knock, and you how does he say it? Knock and it will be answered. Knock and and here, ask and you will receive. He doesn't say ask and strive and cry and reach. He doesn't say ask.
Sounds like blasphemy to you, or heresy.
And then get upset and have sour grapes and put.
God damn. Okay, that's enough. I just hate these people. I really, really do. How feminism destroys men.
I know a lot of people like to think that, it's in our nature and that we're like bonobos and that we should just go around boning because we're animals. That's a lie. That's a
I mean, we are human animals.
Modern Marxist theory.
You remember when Marx said, hey everyone, let's fuck?
That facilitates the communist takeover.
The key tool of communism is horny posting. That explains a lot.
All really started coming to a head during...
Chat, who are you gonna listen to? Him or my boob window? Just saying.
The 1960s sexual revolution. This is when feminists, and feminism is a branch of communism / Marxism.
Feminism is communism.
Marxism is the philosophy.
Sure.
In other words, cultural Marxism is the social philosophy.
Cultural Marxism is very close to cultural Bolshevism, which was literally a term Nazis used. You're doing a great job, Elliot.
That allows communism to be unfolded, but feminism is a part of that. Make no bones about it. Feminism doesn't just stand on its own.
I think Elliot agrees with Trump being a registered sex offender. He's not. Like, the case he just did was civil, not criminal. Though that would be funny if a former president was a convicted sex offender. Don't get me wrong, plenty have been sex offenders, just not convicted or put on a list.
Righteous movement that women wanted. In fact, most women didn't want feminism. Feminism was forced on women because they knew...
It's kind of the opposite of how feminism works.
The Marxists understood that it was a means by which they would subvert the power of the men in a society, and through feminism, men grow weak. Feminism isn't just about elevating women, it's about degrading men. The sexual revolution...
It isn't. It's literally about people having the opportunity to use their own agency to do whatever they want in their life as long as they're not hurting other people, which is a good thing. Wagrode says, so veganism is communism and feminism is communism, so transitively feminism is veganism? Apparently.
Which unfolded as sexual liberation for women.
You can't disagree with math. And that's basically just math.
Women, because of what? The pill, abortion, and free love hookup culture. This is all brand new. Was about...
I don't know how to break this to you, but people have been fucking forever. How do you think we got billions of people on this planet? People like to bone. People like to bone. Just saying.
Removing chastity as a value from...
I know this is like, I'm really not just trying to constantly bring this up, but think about this. Sexuality is pervasive. People literally have paid me regularly through the last couple weeks to wear this outfit regularly, and I don't think at this point they're just doing it as a joke. It's pervasive. People are horny.
From women.
Though it is funny. Jesus Christ, I hate Elliot so much. Dr. Gamble says, no offense to religious people, but the amount of religious iconography in this room makes me uncomfortable. Why turn your house into a church when you could just go to a church? Not saying you can't do it, just puts me off. Also, isn't there something about not having iconography in the Bible, or am I misremembering? You're not supposed to do idolatry, but icons of Jesus are fine as long as you're not worshiping them over the actual Jesus. Oh boy, we haven't done Terrence Popp in a while, and he also has some opinions on Steven Crowder, so let's go!
All right, everybody. Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair! Ha ha! And today, I am going to do my usual tradition. When I was a first sergeant, and I had sold...
Wait a minute, you're telling me that one of your traditions involves drinking alcohol? That's crazy, Terrence.
Soldiers going through personal problems, divorce, what have you. I would usually call them into my office after hours, pour the soldier a shot of whatever I had in the office. I didn't give a shit if they were 21 or not. If they're wearing the uniform and they could die for their country, they could fucking drink with me anytime. And I gave this briefing to a lot of the soldiers under my guidance and care because they didn't know what the hell was going to happen to them. All right. Yeah, they were getting divorced. Things were going crazy, but they didn't really understand how the whole process works and how it affects you. And I made it a habit to brief people as soon as I heard they're getting divorced on what to expect, what feeling...
Oh god, this is gonna be such terrible, angry, misanthropic, divorced dad energy. Stone Corbell says, oh hey, admitting to crimes, corruption of the youth, groomer.
They're going to have, and, you know, there's gonna be anger. And we call it red pill rage. Back then, I just called it rage or just
Sorry,
general
my butt
anger.
hurts. I need to stand
a
up
lot
for
of
a second.
guys got divorced, were pissed off for a good 3, maybe 5 years after the fact. I'm no different. I got it. But this counseling session is going out to Mr. Crowder. I have been watching on the tubes all of the crazy shit that's coming down, and it looks like it's pretty much going down by the numbers, if you know what I mean.
I mean, for yours, probably, it's gonna be the same for Crowder, because the reason Crowder's getting divorced is because he was abusive. And you probably were too, knowing you. What if this was just the stream? What if I never showed my face? I should have done this. Why didn't I do this? This would have been perfect. Hydrate. Will do.
Bear with me.
Are you the kind of person who's run out of feelings to hurt?
Please send all of your hate mail to my ass, because I don't care.
Then we have the Redonkulous swag for you. And we have multiple locations where you can get it. Go to the Stream Elements store or Crypto Fashion and embrace your inner fat Punisher.
Whoa.
The Punisher doesn't like you people. Oh my god, that shirt is too tight for him. Holy shit.
Because after all,
there's a little bad pop in all of us. Even your mother.
Shirts, stickers, mugs, and hats are on sale now. Your support helps keep us independent from big tech and keeps this life-saving train on the tracks. Links are in the Meat Gazer box.
Let me see what's going on here. Okay, first of all, I have to say this about Mr. Steven Crowder. I respect you. I agree.
That's a mistake.
Agree with much of what you're saying, not everything. Mainly because anyone who agrees 100% with anyone, pretty much you're starting a cult, or you have the mentality of a cult follower. I am not that person.
Porcelain Giant, thanks for 30 months.
Okay, now, you have done a lot of good on the internet by fighting the establishment, and in my opinion,
Steven Crowder literally just makes jokes about disadvantaged groups that are already shit on by most of society. It doesn't make you a hero, it makes you an asshole.
the corrupt sellout government that we have leading us at this time. In fact, we have the best government money can buy. Unfortunately, the taxpayers who fund our government can no longer afford it. But that's another video.
Fuck Congress.
Now, I got a look at that home security video, and it was very unflattering. But, you know, in your
Who do you think it was unflattering for? I'm kind of concerned.
defense, and any other man out there in their defense as well, we are just men. We are human beings, and we are all by nature flawed in some way.
Yeah, most abusers are human. It's kind of a thing you need to be in order to qualify for the distinction. We are aware that abusers are human. That does not forgive the abuse. Steven Crowder is abusive. I don't know much about his wife. Don't really care. In isolation, what we saw, by definition, was abuse. Period. End of story. There's no justification. There's nothing you can be like, well, you know, boys will be boys. No. If this is how you behave, you deserve to be alone. Stay away from people. You're awful, abusive, narcissistic shitheads.
That doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. It just means you have something different that somebody else doesn't have. All right. In my younger days, mine was anger, and I controlled
You're not angry at all anymore.
most of that anger by climbing in the ring and kicking the shit out of people constructively, and I was paid for it quite handsomely a few times. All right, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Dr. Gamble says, oh, that tight shirt reminds me I lost 25 pounds in the past few months and I'm about to break 200. Wish me luck. That's fucking awesome.
Now,
Congrats.
let's get into the meat and potatoes. All right, you married this woman, right? I'm sure you did everything in your power to vet her. You were in it to win it. I got it. I was the same way when the bad shit happened to me.
Did you vet your own behavior to try and keep yourself from being an abusive partner or neglectful? Because that's part of the marriage. You understand that the wedding isn't the finish line. It's the starting line. God damn it.
But welcome to current year, where women...
welcome to current year, where women are allowed to divorce their abusive husbands. Can you believe this? Yeah. Yep. I'm glad no-fault divorce exists, and so is your ex-wife.
get paid handsomely for breaking a contract, i.e.
Breaking a contract!
the marriage contract. And you, Mr. Crowder, you are about to be waylaid by the laws of the current century, and all you have left to defend yourself with are the laws of the early 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, when a lot of this barbaric divorce law shit was put into effect.
Divorce, barbaric, forcing people to stay in marriages against their will, somehow not barbaric?
All right, that's the equivalent of you marching out against a modern army with black powder muskets and horse-drawn cannons. It's not going to work out for you. All right, you're going to have to fight dirty. You're going to have to get mean. And quite frankly, your ex-wife is now your goddamn enemy. Now, I know you don't want to hear this, Mr. Crowder. I got it. I'm just being honest here. You're getting the first sergeant talking to.
You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you.
Does he understand that Arnie Hammer isn't a good guy in that movie? You're not supposed to like the drill instructor in Full Metal Jacket. Hot fucking take. Dr. Gamble says, so, if you were still married, you're saying you would be happy. Doubt.
You are
His wife certainly wouldn't be.
in your 40s, I imagine, and I hope you stay on this planet for a good long time. But your happiness in the future is all going to revolve around how medieval you want to get to win your share of time with your children. Because the list behind me, through 33 years in the military, is pretty much how it unfolded for all of the dudes that I gave this briefing to. All right, Mr. Crowder. Number 1, character assassination.
Oh my god! Is it even possible to assassinate the character of someone as hated as Steven Crowder? He doesn't have much of a reputation to protect.
This happens almost every time. The divorce is happening.
I'm sorry, R. Lee Hammer, not Army Hammer. Why did I think his name was Army? That's weird. In real life, the actor was quite pleasant. Oh, I'm sure. I'm not saying anything about the actual guy.
The woman then spreads all kinds of rumors. He's abusive and turns your friends and family against you because she wants to put the pressure on.
He's obsessed with divorce because instead of taking inventory of himself and considering why his ex-wife left him, he's instead, for some reason, devoted the rest of his life into obsessing over the fact that she was allowed to leave him, as opposed to why maybe she chose to do so in the first place. It can't be anything he did, obviously. Narcissists are gonna be narcissists.
On you. She wants you to fold and cave.
Hi, Wicked Witch.
You have
How's it
2
going?
children now that are very, very young. And for their sake, you can't do that. You got to roll up your sleeves. I understand you were married to her. Maybe you still love her. I don't know. But effectively...
I don't believe Steven Crowder ever loved his wife. I don't think he does now. I don't think he did then. I think he considers her valuable to him as a possession, but I do not believe he views her as a human being or is able to afford her any amount of love, because I don't think he thinks of her as a full human being worthy of, like, love and agency and all sorts of stuff.
She is now the enemy.
Thanks, Marusama.
You have to out for you. All right, you're going to have to fight dirty. You're going to have to get mean. And quite frankly, your ex-wife is now your goddamn enemy. Now, I know you don't want to hear this, Mr.
I have to urinate real quick, so I'm going to take a quick break. Let's put on Sausage Guy or something for a second. I love this new keyboard. It's so clicky-clacky. Perfect. Watch this while I pee.
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess. Have you ever been laying next to your partner in bed and called them your peanut butter-filled pretzel nugget? It's just a sweet little thing to let them know that you love them. And these are... Can you... Is it possible to open this thing in one foul swoop, or do you have to... Come on, give me a kiss. Oh, baby, I love you. It's a pretzel shell with little tiny pieces of peanut butter in it. You can go through the entire container without even realizing it. They're super addictive. We're gonna keep this sausage pure and not use any pork in order to flavor it up. It's just gonna be the pretzels and the peanut butter within them that makes this sausage. Oh, you gotta be kidding. You can't grind peanut butter pretzels? We may need the bigger grinder plate for this one. All right, let's try it again. I don't know. Maybe it needs some lubrication. Yeah. And speaking of being too dry, I don't know how this is going to go through the sausage press. I think we're going to have to apply some water to this. drink up my thirsty beast. Using my hands was...
Fennikagami says, to be fair, sometimes women can be monsters in breakups. Some even brag about lying to intentionally screw over the guy, but this is a relatively rare occurrence, and frankly, a lot of times toxic behavior is at least somewhat a both sides issue. But usually the man is the biggest problem in a bad breakup. I sub to Empty Chairs. Thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs while I was gone. Guess I should leave more often.
Was an instant mistake. The vomit bucket is properly named this time. Ooh, this would make a good pizza dough. Or would it? I don't know. I don't make pizza. I don't have a song for today. What do you say for once we just enjoy the silence? I've been reading more and more in the comments that people think I sound like Gilbert Gottfried, which I don't get. I don't think I sound anything like Gilbert Gottfried. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage! Well, we have reached the end. We were quickly running out of casing. Oh, we got a little turtle head poking out. With full apologies to this guy, because ain't no way this is gonna blow. Look at that, he's holding the sausage tube in his hand. I like how thick and hearty my mustache looks in this one. Will it blow? I did it for you, sausage guy. I did it for you. But I'm gonna have to give that Will It Blow half a ruffalo. That's supposed to be me with a mustache. This is why I didn't go to art school. Here we go! It's singing. All right, I think we're about done here.
I really like peanut butter, so I'm curious.
Okay, let's open it up and see how we did. Well, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. And I made that way too big. That's a sausage mistake. Here we go.
The bursts are usually caused by too much moisture. This is a pretty dry one, so...
Ow! It tastes like mushy peanut butter pretzels. It's
Fuck it, I'd eat it.
It's not good.
I'm a peanut butter slut. I know that a lot, I talk a lot about how much I like cheese on this channel because cheese is up there. I don't think I give enough lip service to how much I like peanut butter. Peanut butter is amazing.
But what a sear on that bad boy, huh? Some would say this was failed from the start. And those people are rude, but also correct.
Peanut slutter.
Here's the kicker. It could have used a little salt and pepper. Every sausage that we don't add salt and pepper to, it's a disservice to sausages everywhere. So I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 1 out of 5.
Bop, 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 bop.
Alright, back to Terrence.
Crowder, I got it. I'm just being honest here. You're getting the first sergeant talking to.
You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you.
You are in your 40s, I imagine, and I hope you stay on this planet for a good long time. But your happiness in the future is all going to revolve around how medieval you want to get to win your share of time with your children. Because the list
The Golden Chain Chomp, thanks for subscribing with Prime.
behind me, through 33 years in the military, is pretty much how it unfolded for all of the dudes that I gave this briefing to. All right, Mr. Crowder. Number 1, character assassination.
What would Sausage Guy rate Terrence Pop? Probably not very highly. I think Sausage Guy's cool. Like he's married and stuff and he doesn't seem like a cunt.
Oh my god! Ah! This happens almost every time. The divorce is happening. The woman then spreads all kinds of rumors. He's abusive, and turns your friends and family against you, because she wants to put the pressure on you. She wants you to fold and cave. You have 2 children now that are very, very young, and for their sake, you can't do that. You got to roll up your sleeves. I understand you were married to her. Maybe you still love her. I don't know. But effectively, she is now the enemy. You have to make that determination in your head. Otherwise, you're gonna get paved over like I-75, and it's not gonna be pretty.
It's interesting to me that Terrence is under the assumption that there are always necessarily things to spread about your ex. Like, again, I don't know Steven Crowder's wife, Hillary. She's probably not a very good person that I would agree with. She did agree to marry Steven Crowder. I think she was raised in a very right-wing religious household, and I'm sure has been raised to believe a variety of things that I would find abhorrent. But I don't think she had the agency in that relationship in order to be abusive in any way, the way Steven Crowder was. So if you're going to try and make this a both sides thing, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail immediately.
That doesn't sound good.
Number 2, blame, shame, and guilt. All right, again, the soon-to-be ex blames you for stuff. It's your fault. You didn't.
Shmoop B, thanks for 26 months, says, dude has BDD energy, big divorced dad. Love what you do. Oh, thanks.
Didn't do this. You didn't come home. You're always working. You get mad. Whatever. It's blame and shame, and what they're trying to do is get you to feel guilty or feel shame, so you'll be more pliable to,
Maybe sometimes you should feel guilt and shame, like when you do something bad. Like when you're abusive and you get caught. Maybe you should feel shamed and bad. Those feelings are trying to tell you something. It's telling you to not do the thing.
Give her the stuff that she wants. Listen, I fought
Cute flower crown, thank you.
this fight. I know what I'm talking about.
Bando the Husbando with 5 months says, Chudwatch, my favorite guilty pleasure.
Number 3, if you put up a fight, they're going to do everything in their power to destroy you. And the first thing they do, above blame and shame and character assassination, are false allegations.
Have you considered that allegations are often and usually true in this context? Do I want to join the no cussing club?
All right, a lot of time.
There actually was. Hold on, that video got sent to me earlier. Let me pull it up. The no cussing club. This is an important message, people. Pay attention. This will be on the test.
I was sitting in the schoolyard, hanging with my crowd, when some kids came walking by, talking really foul. Every other word was burning in my ears, so I took a new stand, and I challenged all my peers. If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. If you wanna be my peer, please respect my ears. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. I was sitting in the park, talking to my friends, when we heard adults cussing. Man, it never ends. I said, I know I'm just a kid, but I'll challenge you too. They said, hey, we're really sorry. Can we hang with you? If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. If you wanna be my peer, please respect my ears. Don't cuss. Don't cuss.
They are hardcore.
Blankety blake, bleepity bleep. I don't wanna hear that speak. Bloopity bloop, yakety yak. Stop your cuss and clean your act.
I think the braces really sell it.
cuss. Don't cuss.
This cop is responsible for half of the nation's domestic abuse charges. Look at this man. Oh my god.
My dad was watching news, I was trying to chill when I heard about the language on Capitol Hill. So I guess I'll write a letter to my congressman. I'd like
You're gonna write a letter to Congress to tell them to stop swearing. Get a life, kid. Fuck you.
to give a challenge to my government. If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. If you wanna hang with us, I don't wanna hear you cuss. Don't cuss! Come on, don't cuss. If you wanna be my peer, please restrict my ears. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. All across the nation will start a new sensation. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. Let me restate it, keep it G-rated. Don't cuss. Come on, everybody, don't cuss. Don't cuss.
Yeah, could you do me a favor? Hello?
Yeah.
Could you say don't cuss?
What?
My son's filming a video for his no cussing club.
Don't cuss.
Thank you.
Why did you make someone at the fast food window do that? That's not what they're paid for. Fuck off.
I'll take a cheeseburger.
That's so fucking stupid.
Listen, I don't know your exact net worth. I'm sure it's pretty okay. But unfortunately, if you review the cases or you read the news clips about celebrity divorces, when there's a lot of money on the line, false allegations always come up.
Interesting that you assume all the allegations are false. You just assume that. For what reason do you assume that, Terrence?
Point. Jolie and Brad Pitt. She made a bunch of bullshit allegations, and he didn't see his kids for over 4 years. All right? That is what's going to happen. And this is pretty much the big stick they're going to try.
I think the best thing that could happen to Steven Crowder's kids is them not being allowed to be around him for a very long time.
The hold over your head to get you to comply.
This should be illegal.
All right. Destruction, disappearance of your sentimental or important shit. I have talked to probably a good 70, 80 soldiers, servicemen, whatever you want to call it, who, they come home, they can't go in the house because there's an emergency protection order for bullshit. So they have to go somewhere else.
For bullshit, I'm sure.
And while that's happening, his service records are shredded. His medical records were burned. The digital copies of all his records were deleted and then erased with bleach bit. Hillary Clinton knows how that works. And just
wow, he found a way to shove Hillary Clinton in this for no discernible reason. That's impressive.
Royally screwed this guy's life. All right, or I've had a guy had the ring and a watch from his great-great-grandfather who was at the Little Bighorn and got whacked. He left that at home. It was in a case. He got, a protection order. That shit disappeared. And to him, those items were priceless. All right. Like I said, you need to treat her like an enemy because that is exactly what she's going to do to you.
Not necessarily. You can have an amicable divorce. In this case, I doubt it's going to because Steven Crowder seems to be an abusive asshole. In which case, he deserves what's coming to him.
So my advice, Mr. Crowder, is this. Get all of your sentimental
You think they hate Crowder's wife because her name is Hillary? I literally heard someone say that. On Tinfoil Tuesday, I don't remember if it was... I think it was last week. We had a crazy QAnon lady saying all sorts of stuff, like, of course her name's Hillary, etc. And it's like, that's irrelevant. What are you talking about? The right-wing brain worms are just so destructive.
Shit out of that house. Get all of your documents, make copies, take them to several different locations because I think that's going to happen. I mean, she already released private footage from your own security cameras to make you look bad.
It did make him look bad. It revealed him to be an abusive scumbag.
Do you still think I'm fucking with you here?
I hope there's more video.
I'm not. I want to see you succeed and continue on with what you're doing because we need it desperately.
He's not wrong.
All right, you can expect to lose 1/2 of all your shit. All of that hard work you did, all of those hills you climbed, all of the risks you took to get...
Yeah, and his wife was there with him through that, so she is entitled to some of that money. Half in this case, depending on the state. States sometimes do it differently. It depends. I don't know what state Steven Crowder resides in. But, like, yep, she was raising your children while you were working. That's true. She was doing unpaid labor for the relationship. That's how it works.
The amount of money you have, assets, what have you. Well, she's going to walk off with half of that. That's the nature of the beast. Now, bear with me. You're still a young man. You can make that money back. But don't ever get married again. It is a fool's game. You are an alpha guy. You have the
alpha
looks, the height, the money, the career.
He said the thing.
The status. And look what's happening.
Steven Crowder is not an alpha. You can't change my mind.
Don't get married again. It will not end well.
They would have to be absolute idiots to do that.
You've been married to her for about 6 years. As a betting man, I am betting on her trying to go for Alice isn't horny any more money for the rest of her life or your life. That is shitty. Plain and simple. I find it reprehensible that you divorce a woman for whatever reason and you're still required to put her in the basically same status of living she had when she was married to you.
Why? Then don't get married or have a prenup. What? This is what I don't get. People like Terrence Popp and Steven Crowder, they're so worried about this and so against divorce. Why didn't you get a prenup? Like, if you didn't... Is it just the cockiness? They assume, oh, my wife will never leave me. I'm too much of a fucking alpha, bro. Like, is that it? Jesus Christ.
That's an example.
Stephen J. Neptune Man says, alphas are well known for running away from debates with YouTubers. What a fucking nightmare.
Of one of those laws that they put on the books in the early 1900s that they're still using in 2022 for the mere purpose of fucking you in the ass.
Kind of making it sound appealing.
Okay. So this is gonna be tough. Hopefully you don't get permanent. Allison isn't horny anymore.
Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare.
Money, and maybe they'll cap it at 3, 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. I really hope that happens. And then you got the child support. That's an automatic thing, and the equations they use.
Is he gonna try and say child support's a bad thing? Oh boy.
I'm gonna be honest, are made for people who are upper middle class when it comes to child support. All right, if you are far beyond that and you're making good money, that equation literally turns it into basically a double alimony payment.
Good, fuck you. If you're rich, I don't care. You deserve it.
It is bullshit.
You make more money. It's percentage based.
Robin Williams.
Yes, your children, even though they're not living with you, should benefit from your wealth. Yes, you fucking loser. They're your kids.
Was paying alimony for life to 2 ex-wives, to my understanding. We're talking millions upon millions of dollars a year.
If he can afford to do that, I don't feel bad for you.
He was never going to get out of it.
I don't really feel bad for you either way.
Because it was for life. I can't tell you how many times I talked to guys who have to pay alimony but get hurt on the job and can't work. They miss some payments. They go right to jail.
That's some old bullshit.
Number 7. All right, they're going to try all this horse shit. to get you to take the standard deal, which is every other weekend and maybe you get 4 hours on a Wednesday or Thursday night. That is absolute horseshit. 96 hours a month a father does not make.
But wait, you don't want to give child support. Why? You clearly don't even give a shit about the kid, so why are you pretending you do?
I said it better myself.
What's crazy is Crowder has all that money but can only afford one car. Sounds like he did that as a manipulation tactic. 100%. There's no other reason for that other than being an abusive asshole who wants to control his wife and doesn't want her to have the agency to leave the house.
Do not take this deal. Fight it tooth and fucking nail. All right? Listen.
I think that's going to go bad for Steven Crowder, considering he comes off as an asshole. Like, Steven Crowder has negative charisma. He thinks he's funny, and right-wingers apparently think he's funny, but he just comes off like a sniveling asshole. So I don't think him sitting in front of a judge or a jury and testifying is going to endear them to him.
Take it to a full goddamn trial. I can almost guarantee you, if you're willing to do that, and you don't blink or hesitate, I can pretty much think that roughly before the trial goes down, you're going to get what you want, a 50-50 custody. Of course, they're going to offer you that in the deal.
Steven Crowder absolutely should not get custody of his kids. I really hope it's shown in court that he's an unfit father, and he shouldn't be allowed to be near them. It's in Texas, so I'm kind of doubting it, but who knows.
For money and more Alice's and horny or whatever. All right. That's up to you if you want to take that
Speedy Yoshi, thanks for subbing for 25 months, says yes.
deal. Every man's different. I totally get it. When given a choice, children or money, it's the children.
I don't know if Steven Crowder would agree with that. It's kind of one of the reasons it seems like he's getting divorced is he doesn't seem to give a shit about his kids.
But you don't want to be homeless or destitute. I got it.
Tea with Goblin says, I've been transcribing a bunch of prison phone calls. One bloke is incarcerated and the other has been out a few years. Super douchey bikey types. The way these men speak to each other is borderline homoerotic. They clearly adore and miss each other, but the way they talk about their girlfriends is like they're just annoying, but fuckable baggage. I've heard the term homosocial misogyny to describe men like this, that hate women but are too homophobic to ever be with men. Yeah, it seems like a lot of dudes like that are like... It seems like they are... It's like they're homo-romantic, but heterosexual. They hate women, but want to fuck them. It's ridiculous.
This is going to get nasty. She already is willing. She started at level 1 here. It's going to get worse.
Golden Chain Chomp with 100 bits says, "'Cause you're cute." Thanks. Almost on a hype train.
For real, I'm actually being dead serious. Dead fucking serious.
I don't like that Terrence Popp apparently knows who the angry video game nerd is. What the fuck?
Number 8. You are going to get hit with desperation and depression.
I'm so...
Oh my god, too many fucking clips.
Your mind literally processes that pain.
Maps and Mimic says, man, I hope he takes it to a public trial. Imagine all the behind-the-scenes shit we'd see him do. There's definitely other videos.
Like a death.
Usually I wouldn't wish that because of the victim of the potential abuse, but like you said, she's probably shitty too. I'm assuming that the release of the camera footage was a taste. I assume that they have more footage of Crowder being abusive, and they probably did that as a test balloon to be like, behind the scenes, her lawyer is probably talking to Crowder's lawyer and saying, we have a ton of shit, your client's a piece of shit, and you know it, we have a ton of videos, agree to our settlement, or it's gonna get bad, this is all going public, is my guess. I don't know that to be a fact, it's speculation.
It is incredibly painful. There's no way around it, over it, under it. You're just going to have to go through it. I got a video out there called The Lens of Depression. I also have Pre-Divorce Mentality floating out there. They're comedy lectures I prepared for younger men.
Comedy lectures. Just call it a bad stand-up routine. It's fine.
because the system is radically unfair and it's killing men hand over fist. Now, I know you're familiar with the stats, but I myself was left homeless for a little over 6 months in 2008-ish, 2009. You know, I lived out of my car. You know, I slept in there pretty much 5 to 6 nights a week, and then once a week I would go to a buddy's house to surf, you know, couch surf and take a shower and blah, blah, blah. And then the cycle would repeat.
You gonna finish those fries, bro?
Dude, I didn't even know you back then. Get out of here, you time-traveling hobgoblin.
I mean, literally everyone and their mother is dogpiling you, and this is not a dogpiling video. First of all, I consider myself a man of honor and integrity, and
He literally made videos before about how to attack substations. He literally made a video before about how to do terrorist attacks on power substations. I think he deleted that video. Fennikagami says, Terrence, you're the drunkest, most divorced dad on the internet.
I typically don't kick a man when he's down.
Is he drunk? Probably. He's drunk a lot of the times in his videos.
Yeah, unless I'm in a war, and then that's a different thing. But in civilized society, it's just not my thing. But I will tell you this: at some point in the future, once the numbers, you know, get released, or if
Fast Lunacy, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs, and I think kicking off a hype train.
somebody sends them to me, I am going to do
You guys know the drill. If we get to level 10, you get another maid outfit day. 2 are already added today, though, so feel free to not do that.
a Pimp Tart Wife-stitute comedy divorce edition for you and how the whole thing unfolds. And I'm like the only comedian
93% to level 2.
that's
You're not a comedian.
doing this when it comes to celebrity divorces. Of course, it's all in good fun, and you're a comedian, I'm a comedian. All right, now once you get through the desperation and the depression, you still might have a little bit of it, but once you see how poorly you're treated here and how the civil
Wagroads with 50 bits says, I feel like if you're made homeless by a divorce and friends and family let that happen to you, you are a piece of shit. Yeah.
civilization doesn't have it.
Or some people, I don't want to say that generally, because there might be some people out there who legit don't just have connections to other people. Which, fair enough, but it seems like he does have friends, so it's kind of weird they weren't helping him.
Any consideration for you at all. You're going to wind up here. Red pill rage. And most of the
Oh.
guys who encounter the red
Is baby angry?
pill rage are pissed off because
women have rights.
they literally went their entire lives believing everything is going to be one way, and they are reinforced and told, yeah, that's the way it's going to be. Then you get hit with a divorce.
So instead of questioning the misogynistic ideas you were raised with, you decided to rant against reality and fight against it forever in order to try and make it closer to the delusion fed to you by right-wing people? That seems like not a great idea, honestly.
You're outside that loop now.
Isn't Steven Crowder mad his wife is allowed to divorce him? He is. He is upsetty spaghetti.
And you're going to be looked at as a wage slave cash cow. And typically it's worse for celebrities when they get divorced. All right, now I don't want to see you be consumed with this rage. It's very easy for that to happen.
Despite all my rage, I am still just a chud in a cage.
Especially when emotions are running high, children are on the line and what have you, and it is what it is. All right, now, typically, when I see this happening, I try to intervene and help the dude out, at least counsel him so he understands what happened, why it happened, and the effects it's going to have on him. It's just like I'm doing for you right now. Now, you can take this with a grain of salt. I know I'm just some dude on the internet, okay, who claims he's a comedian. I am not a comedian like you, Mr. Crowder. It's completely different. You're a stand-up comedian.
Golden Chain Chomp, thanks for gifting a sub and getting us over level 2 of the hype train.
I've tried to do stand-up, on open mic nights, literally at the Ripley Comedy Shop in Royal Oak, Michigan. I signed up like 150 times.
I don't believe in heckling, but Fennikagami says Crowder was looking to divorce his wife first. His wife tried to save the marriage, but Crowder refused to cooperate with therapy. Sounds like him.
To get up there and do 5 minutes of stand-up, and never got picked because I'm the wrong skin color, I have the wrong politics, and I speak
and most importantly, you're not funny.
the truth.
I would imagine you have to probably, in order to get booked at this place, send them a tape of your Type 5 or something. You're not funny, Terrence. That's the biggest thing with stand-up comedy, is you have to be funny, and you're not.
But I will tell you this. All right. Doing comedy at a show, and I've been to quite a few, everyone shows up.
I unironically think that I could, without any preparation, grab a microphone and get in front of a crowd of drunk people at a bar or wherever and be funnier than he would in the same situation with prepared material.
There, and I bet you a third of them already walk in the door whacked out on Mary Jane, Do You Wanna? Most of those places have a 2-drink minimum. So you're standing in front of a bunch of guys. A large majority of them are high in marijuana, and they tend to laugh more, or they've been relaxed with alcohol. I'm not taking anything away from you. But I did my comedy different.
Get ready for a surprise!
When I had to do my comedy, I did it in front of men who were paralyzed in terror, about to break in fear.
Oh my God.
Confused, hopeless, broken. I had to stand in front of those men, tell jokes to get them to laugh. Because I knew if I could get them to laugh,
Weren't you in, the National Guard?
I could break the spell of fear on them.
I don't know that to be true.
And then after, I led those men into battle.
The war he was in was Afghanistan, I think? At best? I'm not saying people didn't die in Afghanistan, but, the death rate for our wars in the Middle East over the last, 20 years aren't, World War II levels. You're acting like they're in the goddamn trenches and half of them aren't gonna come home.
That is what I did. And my
Mr. Whiskers, thanks for 100 bits. 28% to level 3.
method of comedy, you might not like it. It might be too vulgar, blah, blah. I don't care.
Vulgarity isn't a problem with comedy. People are very open to having comedy be vulgar. The issue is that oftentimes people like you confuse being edgy or bigoted for punchlines. Comedy, a lot of it's punching up, or if you do punch down, the humor generally comes from, it's so absurd I'm even picking on this group, right? Imagine someone made, like Jimmy Carr is an example, might make a joke about, haha, dead babies, but, you don't necessarily assume he really hates dead babies. The joke is that, haha, someone would say something so shocking. And to be clear, that kind of humor isn't really for me. Generally, but there's at least a thought process behind it. Just being bigoted and punching down at people you genuinely have derision for, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. Fennikagami says, seriously, Chuds constantly ignore the fact that Stephen tried to start divorce first and his wife tried to save the marriage. I hate this mindset so much. It's the wife's fault even when he's trying to dump her and she tries to make it work. Well, obviously, she should just shut up and do whatever Stephen says and not even try and change him, is probably their perspective. 20 seconds left on the hype.
That number up there, 515 men have come forward over the past 10 years to inform me my comedy and my philosophy kept them from scrubbing out their brain pan with a 44 Magnum. Or
If that's true, that's great, Terrence. That's fine. Not gonna work in a comedy club.
worse. All right.
You're telling me
I've
the
said-
local club doesn't think I'm funny? A bunch of veterans told me they didn't kill themselves because I was so funny.
Before, I
don't know, man. Kind of seems like you're desperately trying to act like you're funny, and I just don't think most people agree. It's fine.
have given this exact same briefing to probably over 150 dudes in a 33-year career in the military. I know what I'm talking about here. Things might be a little different because I'm used to seeing people at the middle of the income pack to lower your upper income, so these numbers might switch around a little bit. But they're already trying to assassinate your character.
His character. Steven Crowder's spotless character.
All right. Now, there's another force at work here that I think I should inform you on. All right. Right now, what's going on in this country is a culture war, which in reality is a spiritual war between good and evil.
Oh my god, your positions aren't popular. Stop being bigots and fucking misogynists. This isn't some epic end times battle. You're just assholes. You're just assholes. And everyone else is saying like, hey, could you not be an asshole? And you're all going, no, this is a fucking culture war. Ah, spiritual war, demons, you're all demons. Just stop being assholes. It's not a big ask.
Plain and simple. And the adversaries look at you as a powerful, individual who stands for...
If it's a culture war, I think these guys are losing. That's the crazy thing. Is like never... And here's just a small sample size. The last 100 years, right? So like from the 1920s till now. Pretty much, I think every progressive social movement has succeeded in a long enough time span over 100 years. Like, it's not perfect, but, like, we have continually made progress. There have been times where things go back. We're in a period right now where they're pushing back. But as a whole, we have been moving forward socially for, like, 100 years. And these same people were fighting against every single one. Women's suffrage, trying to end Jim Crow laws, the end of segregation. They fight on every single one of these things. Gay marriage, and now we're on fucking trans stuff. You're wrong every single time. Unions, that's true, but I'd consider that more an economic thing. Unions are an economic force, so I would consider that different. But progressives have pretty much won every social cause for the last 100 years. And luckily, it seems like we're making progress on unions again now. They're back in the news pretty often. I think younger people have higher union opinions of unions than generations have for a while. So it's not too bad. The Goblin Help Deck, thanks for raiding. Welcome, raiders. I'm Hannah. We're coming close to the end of the stream, but we've been watching Chuds today. We have been watching Chuds, hanging out and watching idiots.
Truth, and they want to silence you, destroy you,
Check out the Goblin Help Deck.
and dare
By the
I
way.
say, kill you.
Goblin Help Deck, thanks for 25 months, says woot woot. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream.
That is unacceptable. All right, you are too important to the fight. I want you to remain calm.
Oh, thanks, Polly
All right,
Cracker.
and
Everyone's so nice to me. Thank you.
Understand, you're going to have wild emotional swings left and right. I got it. I got it. It's not a big deal. But please, follow this last acronym. I call it CHILL. CHILLL. And that stands for calm, higher intelligence.
I'm sure you're a very big brain boy. I'm sure you're a very big brain boy, Terrence. Sorry, I almost burped on stream.
Latitude, meaning
I could get away with that shit when I was, you know, outwardly presenting as a boy. Not anymore. I'm trying to be cute.
Shit changes on the ground, you can laterally move around to adapt to it. Laugh. Laughter. It's the best defense against the universe there is. It stumbles death. It angers evil. I mean, you can't go wrong there. And the last L is this. Live out of fucking spite. All right?
Oh my God.
Fuck them. You drive on and you do great fucking things because you have what it takes.
Like Terrence, what he's done with his life is live in his basement and drink and complain about women. His children hate him, by the way.
Just an old retired first sergeant.
He's mentioned this, that his kids won't talk to him. I wonder why.
Physically broke.
Oh yeah, he 100% has high blood pressure. My dad was similarly this really angry guy, and he had high blood pressure. So did his dad. Weirdly, same family, same genetics. I don't have high blood pressure. You know why? Because I'm not, like, this pent up. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Fennikagami says, conservatives don't understand that they are always the bad guys. The people they look up to were progressives for their time. They can't understand that their ideological ancestors were the enemy. Conservatives' only positive contribution to society is to be the devil's advocate to help progressives see the blind spots in their ideology. The only good thing they do is to be a sounding board. I'd argue they're not even very good at that. Dr. Gamble says, this is the part where the camera pans over and you see he was talking to a mirror the whole time. And Mr. Whisker says the tit window probably helps too. Yeah, probably.
Broken by war, sitting at a studio that I created myself with my partner, Blake O'Kleiner.
Was my granddad a raging narc too? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the narcissism was more his wife, my dad's mom. My dad's dad had other issues, though.
He's not here right now, or I'd have...
He's the one that I've told you guys about that got caught soliciting from a trans sex worker.
I'm on the show, but he's, home.
So maybe he had other things he was working out that were hidden for the time. I don't know.
Home with his wife and kid, which is cool. Now, Mr. Crowder, I say this again. I am not going to kick you while you're down, and if need be, I will have your back. It won't be the first time an ex-Green Beanie first sergeant ran top cover.
He's dead now, so it's fine to share that story.
For somebody. I've done it many times. All right, with that being said, please.
And that's how trans demons entered Hannah's family. It's true. It's true. Latched onto me.
Handle your business. Remain calm. Keep your emotions in check. You will get through this. All right? But don't roll over. Fight tooth and nail. And don't take any shit.
You thought it was the salt lamp? The demons forced me to lick the salt lamp. Don't you understand? It's all connected.
Kids you have are too important.
Terrence is a piece of work. Okay, is there anything else that we're gonna do? What? Old Donkey Kong rap? Oh my god. This might be good.
Yea, verily, yea. So they're finally here, performing for thee. And if thou know the words, thine can stand with me. Put thy hands together, if thou'st wish to clap, as we take thee through ye old monkey rap. Donkey Kong, thy leader of the bunch, ye know him well, and thou art finally back to kick some tail. His coconut arrows doth fire.
The link's in chat.
Spats, and if he shoots thee, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. Forsooth he doth make the first of the decay.
CNN is doing a mass ban on anyone streaming the Trump interview. Doesn't surprise me. I wasn't planning on streaming it anyway. What's there left to even say about Donald Trump? If I have to deal with talking about him in the 2024 election, I'll do it. But I have very little interest in actually giving him any screen time. Like, eh.
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is here. This Kong's got style, so heed you well, plebs. She can shrink her size down to a pin's head. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She doth float through the air and doth climb up trees. If you choose her, you shall not have chose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she is one cool Kong. Donkey Kong. He doth have no style, he doth have no grace. This Kong has a rather queer face. Handstands can be done if they need to be, and he can stretch out his arms just for the. He doth inflate himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs this too.
That's pretty good. Burger Blast ad, AI generated. This is gonna be a nightmare.
When hunger strikes and you need a treat, Burger Blast is the place to meet, with juicy patties and cheese so melty.
This gives me, oh, what's the name of the Las Vegas fake supermarket thing? Omega Mart. This reminds me a little bit of Omega Mart.
Burger Blast is where you need to be. Burger Blast, the place to be. Burgers so good, they'll set you free. Burgers out of this world, so tasty and unique. But what you don't know, they're from a planet.
The Last of Us Mayor McCheese isn't real. He can't hurt you.
And you can't speak.
Oh God! Burger Boglins.
The alien
Cronenberger. Shit, that's a good joke.
aliens have landed. They're using burgers to control the
This is an AI-generated commercial.
secrets in the sauce. That's how they take their toll. Burger Blast, the place to be. Resistance is futile. You'll be eating happily with fries on the side and a drink to quench your thirst. Burger Blast, the alien plot to take over the earth. So come on down to Burger Blast and take a bite of the unknown. You'll be doing their bidding and you'll never be alone.
Come on down to Burger Blast today and for a limited time receive a free collectible hat with qualifying combo order. Burger Blast!
Does that person have fingers in their mouth as a tongue?
Best.
I have a joke. But I'm not gonna say it. Alright, that's,
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. You guys are great. I love hanging out with you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, unless I decide to take a day off, but I probably won't. I think I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, that's cool. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Is Radham still doing
animatronics
subathon?
to convert them to Chuck E. Cheese characters, even putting out this.
All right. Good night, everyone. See you later. I think I'm gonna go watch Bones. Find out about the bones. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.